What up? What up? What up? I'm so sorry. My insomnia got the best of me. Well, no, 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 no. No. Actually, I was compiling all of the fucking videos for this, right? Because we have to go over all of them. And I was like, let me just compile it, put it in a playlist, and put it available on the channel, just in case, like, like y'all just want to watch the series itself or whatever the case, right? Sometimes people don't want the commentary. You can go there and get it. And my ass pulled the all nighter doing that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get up in a couple of hours. And I underestimated how tired I actually was. So, my bad to everyone who's waiting. And our very special guest, Midwest, was waiting patiently as well. So, again, my bad. But we have him here today. And let me pull him up. Hold on. But my bad. I, I looked at my messages like shit. What's going on? Oh, you muted.
You're right. What's up? I got poor
What's
Miss
going
Parker,
on?
right?
Right.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on?
I am good. I'm ready to get into this the madness that is who the fuck did I marry?
Yeah. Have you been you've been following this, right? Like this
Yeah.
entire time? Okay.
Yeah, like on this channel? Or
Well,
just in
no, no,
general?
yeah, just in general, the whole story.
I haven't finished it. I didn't want to
Okay.
finish too much of it. There's a little surprise factor for some of the stuff she might be saying, so I didn't go too
Yeah,
far.
that's kind of the way. I haven't really watched any of it. Like even putting the videos together, I had to like. It was hard because I hear some of the beginnings and I'm like, oh shit, but then I'm like, all right, don't watch it. Just wait. Um, Let me say what's up to everybody real quick before we get
Yeah, what's up?
started.
What's up, everybody?
We got Anston, we got Cassie, we got Kitty and Moore, we got Malicious Melissa, LA Anime. What's going right? We're on that Hannibal Monty. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on, Cassie? Taylor Noir. Hold a fold up. Who else we got? And Miss Parker had to do some stuff with the job, so that's why she cannot be here. I don't know if she's gonna pop in. Who knows? I went ahead and dropped her the link just in case she's able to, but she got some job stuff to take care of. Who else we got? All right, Lee. I'm not gonna have y'all waiting too long because y'all been waiting long enough. J Gamer level 24, Taco Tuesday, Mistaken, Icy Red, Broccoli Monster, Cat. Okay, all right. I said what's up to everyone. If I did not, do not take it personal. What's going on? Um, Shut up, Taylor. All right, let me bring this up. Now I gotta go find the fucking playlist I created. Oh, here we go. All right, so we've gotten up to episode 10. So we're about to do episode like what's going on, your mama. We got episode 11 to 25. This is a long one, so we might just get through like 11 to 22. But we'll see how long, how far we get into it. If we got to cut it off, it's fine. Um,
So did y'all get into like how you feel about how this woman's decision making skills are?
oh my God. Okay, so we were talking about this yesterday, right? And LA, they bring up the a good point, and I think we all agreed that this was during a time where, a lot of people I think were making these like real kind of these type of decisions because of the time period it was in, like the pandemic. People were shacking up really quickly because
Motherfuckers
in
got impulsive
quarantining.
and shit.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see maybe
Uh,
in the beginning. I understand that. But like
hmm
like when you just running through a field of red flags and shit, and you just keep running
Yeah,
into them, it's like, yo, at what point do you say to yourself, like, yo, this can't all be a coincidence. This can't all just, oh man, it don't make any sense. Well, just figure it's just, that's just how the cookie crumbles every single time. Fuck out of here.
right. No, I agree. I think we also like
But we'll see how it
talking
goes.
about how she was kind of desperate, or she seems to have been desperate. So it's like a combination of like the whole situation at the time, plus her desperation for love. And yeah, I agree. It is wild to see all those red flags and be like, what can go wrong?
See, and there's another angle to it too. I think there's another
Yeah.
layer, and I think there might have been a little bit of greed involved. And I'm only
Mm,
saying that because the way she sounded and reacted when she was in the earlier episodes, when she was
right.
talking about when he talked about how much money he had, and she was like, I was attracted to the idea of not having somebody taking care of
To
me.
pay bills.
Yo,
Mm,
that shit right there. And then she even said, my mama told me, don't leave yourself in a position where it's a man taking care of you, blah, blah, blah. And, that shit just, she
I was
just,
gonna say, like,
like,
as a man, how do you like? How did that? Because
I would never
as a
let, I
man.
would have never had my daughters. I got two daughters, both adults. And
Mm,
they've both been in situations where they've been with older guys, like slightly older guys. And
mm,
I told them, I was like, I can't tell you what to do because you're an adult, but I am telling you that don't put yourself where you are relying on him or anybody, like anybody in general, but with men is more of a thing that's gonna happen because romantic relationships make it more complicated and make people do things that they probably wouldn't normally do.
mm,
And so I'm like, just don't put yourself in a situation where you got to be like, well, I couldn't pay my rent, so and then he moved in, and then and now he's on the lease and shit. It's like,
mm.
how did you get here?
Right, right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if my son was telling me this whole story, and I would think the same thing. I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, do not tire yourself up in that way. You don't even know this person."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And LA Anime's got a good point. Is there's very much a thing of expectations and
Hmm.
what we're going to talk. But the real question I think is that okay to teach that to girls that when they grow up to be women that they should be, or that's I mean, I guess it's an option because if both parties agree to it, who am I to step in and be like, how dare you, you know? But
Hmm.
I'm talking about those people who maybe don't really want to live that way, but live that way because they have the expectation of living that way.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mari?
Um, what's going on? Uh, di- I'm still kind of like, um, how do you call? Forget it. I'm losing my train of thought. Forget it. But yeah, no, no. Um, I definitely think that her I would like to know where her sense of like self esteem was at when she met him,
Yeah,
because she got very, it's like what Ellie Anime said, like she got very excited for
they moved so
the,
fast.
yeah, like that whole situation. And it does seem like maybe she never had that before. Like
That
maybe
might have
she never
been.
had nobody like wanting to take care of her and stuff, and that made her feel wanted, even though
Mm-hmm.
all the other things just didn't sound right.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
like I've definitely dated someone because I had to think about it, and I definitely dated someone where they had a lot of these like fantastical stories in the beginning, and I had to like really, but they also had that side of them where they were a lot of what I had wanted. And I had to like sit back and think about it and like, oh, this don't make sense. That don't make sense. And
Yeah.
we ended up not working out. I didn't end up in like, uh, it
Like
wasn't
I
bad or
got two
anything. It
kids.
was mutual.
Right.
Yeah, but we still ended up breaking up. But when I
Hmm.
go back in retrospect, I'm like, yeah, some of these things didn't add up either. So I think yeah, we ignore signs when
Yeah,
we like
absolutely.
somebody.
Love makes you blind sometimes.
Hmm.
It's hard to come out of that fog when you're so excited, especially when the relationships are new.
Yeah.
Um, when the relationships are new, you got that love, that not love. I'm sorry, you got that like lusty, like you got like bedroom eyes for the other person. So it's shit that you probably
Hmm.
wouldn't accept from another person. Like, yeah, I guess I'll
Yeah.
take that mentally,
Right.
not consciously, but subconsciously.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let me start. So this is part 11, and
All right, yeah, let's get into it.
so this is when they get into like the cars, and I think she had doubled back. Yeah, she doubled back to talk about the car thing, um, in the middle of the house situation. So if anyone doesn't remember, they were buying cars, and supposedly as a VP, quote unquote VP, at his company, he was gonna get he was gonna get a company car, and so he was taking her to all these dealerships. I think he had told her he had already put money down on a BMW. No, Audi. The Audi was supposed to get delivered to the house.
Right,
It
and it
never happened.
never got delivered. Hey, that's a
So
great
then,
quote. That's a
uh,
great quote.
what?
When you're wearing
The
rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. BoJack Horseman. That
Oh,
show is hot.
that is, yes, exactly. That is a good call because that's exactly what happened. Um, so the Audi was supposed to get delivered, never got delivered. She's like seeing all these red flags. She paused the house situation because the house never went through either. Apparently, somebody else bought the house. She thought they were making an offer on the house that she wanted. Then they're
Oh
back
my
to square
god.
one looking for new houses.
Right. If only she knew what arena football was, this never would have happened. Talk about I got $700,000 for playing
Right?
arena football. Were you the top player in arena football for some years or some shit? Were you
Right?
like the
Like,
MVP of the league? Ain't no way.
so, lesson to all parents: teach your daughters what arena football is, so they don't.
So they will get the okie doke.
This is gonna be the lie of the next decade. Everybody to play the arena.
Girl, I got that arena football money.
Oh, your man play arena football too.
Like you say that shit while she in a mink fur and shit. Like
Right. All right.
she was like, "Is it all
Okay.
football played in arenas? That's stupid to call it that." She thought he was in the NFL. She's like, he always say
Right.
it funny. Arena football, arena football.
You'll never invite me to no games.
Right.
All right, yeah. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And again, my bad to everybody. Insomnia's motherfucker. All right, here we go.
Part, I'm just going to give you some backstory on the family. Pause all the stuff about the house, pause the stuff about the car. This is backstory on his family, my ex husband's family. All right, follow me. My ex husband's parents, mom and dad, are both deceased. Mom passed away from cancer. Dad passed away shortly after her. I'm not sure what he passed away from. So he has a number of siblings. He has two, with his parents, he has two siblings, two brothers, excuse me, two brothers. One is older, lives in Philly. One is younger by 2 years, lives in Nashville. He has two sisters. One, Shantae, is older, lives in Douglasville with her husband and two kids, a boy and a girl. Younger sister, Kim, is the baby, lives in Augusta with her husband, worked at, I think he told me, Procter and Gamble. That was the story. He had two half brothers that were through his dad. One brother lived in Baltimore, the other brother lived in Augusta. The brother that lived in Augusta, I have physically met in person, shook hands, hugged, all that. The brother that lived in Baltimore, I have FaceTimed with, talked to him. The brother that lived in Philly, the older brother that he looked up to, I have never talked to him on the phone. I would always talk to him um, through my ex-husband. So the conversation would be like, "Hey, babe, brother so and so said, hey." He didn't call him brother so and so. We'll call him John. John said, hey. Hey, John. I would be in the bathroom doing my hair, brushing my teeth. Hey, John. And he would be like, did you hear? He said, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. How's he doing? Because that's just me. And so he would relay back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He talked to John every day from starting around July after the grandmother passed away. He would talk to
This Taylor Noir, this is around 2020 is when they
2020,
started
yeah.
dating. So Taylor Noir, so when did this happen? Because Augusta PNG plant shut down in 2016.
Did it get discovered that this was Procter and Gamble? Because she kept saying they damn the internet be sleuthing, man. She didn't even say the name of the place that he
No, no,
worked
she
for.
said Procter and Gamble.
Oh,
She
she
said,
did?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that was a fucking slip up on her part then.
yeah,
Okay. Maybe that's the part that
to
wasn't
John.
true. Who
yeah.
knows?
She wasn't paying attention. I mean, granted, I probably wouldn't go googling my significant other's family's jobs or nothing, but I probably would once I started seeing the
When shit
lies.
stopped making sense, you gotta start with what's
Right?
really real. Is
Yeah,
any of this
exactly.
real?
Hmm.
Is it all a
Yep.
facade? What's up, DGL? Hey,
Every
on the phone.
morning. We both would be getting ready for work and he would be on the phone with John. They would be talking for 30, 40 minutes, talking about football, talking about other siblings. They would be talking about cars. It was really like not a big deal. They would talk about the brother in Baltimore, they would talk about the brother in Augusta. And then they would reminisce. This is the conversations I could hear. Let me explain. When I say I can hear a conversation, what that means is I am physically standing near him or next to him where I could hear him with the phone up to his ear talking to someone because it wasn't me.
So you wasn't hearing the conversation. You was hearing
So
him
let's
just
on some one
talking.
side. This motherfucker was
Right?
having a TV conversation. Like, what? For real? Dog,
You don't
stop.
say.
This motherfucker was having one of them conversations. If you don't get your acting class having, this motherfucker was he was at improv at night, fooling her during the day.
Right? Imagine how crazy. Yo, that's next
That's a high
level
level
though.
of a commitment though. He more committed to that than
Yes.
he is to the relationship, to the
Right.
bit.
Right. He more committed to the lie. Like seriously,
This
to the
motherfucker
bit is a
making up
better
family
word. Yeah.
members and shit. She not around. He doing shit to keep it true. Like he fake eating and shit. He's not eating, but just doing like this with nothing. Like, what'd you eat this morning?
That's why when you think about it, right? Like dude was like from her side of the story, dude was like just talking to himself. He had all kinds of fake letters drafted up. with the Chase logo. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's right. This
Um,
motherfucker was in Photoshop doing it.
yeah, real estate agents.
He had a cast of characters. Motherfuckers on payroll and shit. This nigga had a whole, he had a whole organization and shit. Like it's actually a 501c3 if you look. He getting tax. He
Tyler
fucking her
Perry
over
ass.
and getting tax deductions at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I may not hear the other person because the phone call may not be on speakerphone. But what I hear,
Still in the war said, I'm mad at her because my ex had this level of fuckery commitment instead of where it should have been. I don't know what it is that some people want to
That shit don't make sense.
yeah,
So
like I don't understand that. Like how you get into a relationship, you just be on this level of fuck shit.
that's like it don't make sense. It don't make sense in the way that like when people are lazy and they do so much extra work to get around doing the work that they're supposed to do, that they do twice as much work than if they would have
Yes.
just did the fucking thing in the first place.
Right.
Like what you're just stupid. You're just making work for yourself, man. You're doubling your workload.
Right. Because
Trying to be
even
lazy.
if even if you think about it, her situation, right? She wanted what was the car she wanted? A Kia.
Audi or Kia. Yeah, she had one in the Kia, right?
I've been saying Audi, yes, Audi. She wanted a Kia, and was there another one that she wanted? Well, let's just say the Kia.
BMW, right? It was, or he wanted the
Well,
BMW
he
for
wanted
her.
the BMW, so that's what I'm getting to. Your point is that like she wanted the Kia. You could have saved the. You didn't even have to front. You probably could have actually got that car, no
Right,
issue. But you
right.
was
But he had
fronting
to
like,
go big and shit.
yeah,
Kia, fuck that. We can do better than that. Put my
and
woman
then
in no
never get
Kia.
it.
Right. Just a lion, just signing shit with no intention of paying.
Oh my god.
here is, for example, I hear, hey man, what y'all doing? Oh, for real? Y'all barbecuing this weekend? What y'all making? Oh, that's what's up. Nah, I think me and her gonna stay in this weekend because these numbers is looking crazy with COVID. Yeah, she over here. She's sitting right here. She watched the TV. Okay, hold on. John said, "Hey, hey, John, you heard her? Okay. All right, bro. I just wanted to check in on you. That's the type of conversation I'm explaining. Okay, so I hope that that gives a little more clarity about the type of conversations I'm hearing. So, I don't know why this light keeps going out. Okay, so that's how he would talk to his siblings. The grandmother passed away. He called me around April or May and told me that his grandmother passed away. His grandmother, on his dad's side, had died suddenly from COVID.
Good morning, Bill.
She had
What
symptoms.
up, Bill?
She went to bed and did not wake up. He was distraught. He was crying. He wasn't eating. He was just sitting there,
Jesus.
listening to music, not watching TV, just sad because he was like, my grandmother was always my support system. So from what I saw, it really bothered him. I did not think anything of it. I'm one of those people. If you tell me somebody in your family passed away, I'm gonna believe you because I don't play about death. And I guess I expect other people don't either. Um, however, however, that is not the same for everyone else. But we'll get there. So, family. He had his sister Shantae who lived in Douglasville. Like I said, she was married with 2 kids. Apparently, she was a nurse. So when I had my miscarriage, that was a sister that he was like, my sister will take you to the hospital. Like that's what family does. Okay. I had never met Shantae. I've been on the phone, or excuse me, I've been
Okay.
around him when he.
So the grandma had COVID and passed away, right? His grandma. So now we're there with the grandma having had the 19, passed away. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of characters in this. I'm
Yeah,
trying to keep up
like
with
you said, it's like
everybody.
a fucking Medea play.
It really is.
Mhm.
Although Tyler Perry could, I don't know, like she may be able to give Tyler Perry a run for his money on this one.
Right.
He was on the phone with Shantae. Never heard her part of the conversation. But he would be talking to his sister. That's what he said. That's what it sounded like too.
This is a nurse.
Um, Now, what is interesting is that we lived maybe 35, 40 minutes away from Douglasville. So there were plenty of times that he had invited me to go with him to his sister's house. Okay, let me tell you how this would always work out. Total times he invited me was probably 3 times for different barbecues or whatnot. The first time he invited me, I was like, nah, I ain't going because, again, COVID. And she's a nurse.
He
Hell
knew that.
no. The second time he was like, yeah, she invited us, but I don't think we should go because COVID.
Damn,
No.
he's good.
The third
He really
time
is.
I agreed
Fucking
to
good.
go. I was like, absolutely, I'll go meet your sister. Like, that'd be great. On our way to her house, to Douglasville, to go see the sister. Apparently he got a phone call. The phone was always like on vibrate, but he got a phone call
Mm-hmm.
and he told me that something came up, and so she had to cancel the barbecue, to get together, whatever. And so I was just like, oh man, okay, well, hopefully we can go another time. It didn't happen close enough for me to have red flags, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at this point, as y'all probably like, girl, you so
All
blind.
Right.
all
But
I'm
again,
thinking of
I
is
didn't.
old
Huh?
boy from Coming to America. That boy good.
Yeah.
That motherfucker,
Right.
he was bold. I mean, that's bold to do that because at any point she could have just said, "Yeah, let's just do it. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but let's do it." But he knew he could read. He was reading her like a fucking book, dude.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
saw every move coming.
have you seen his TikTok
No,
account?
I haven't got into that yet. I know it's
Okay.
there, and I know I've seen what he looks like and everything, but I
Right.
haven't got. I want to. I've left everything. I'm just gonna kind of discover it as I get through it. Once I get
Right.
through it, because I'm sure he's made some responses and everything, trying to
Oh,
defend
it's
himself.
wild.
Yeah,
I might compile like some of that stuff after this so that I could put them up on the channel. But let me just put it like this to you. He calls himself the relationship man.
the
He's
relationship man.
giving relationship advice. That's
This
just
motherfucker got a big ass R and a cape and shit,
oh
and be standing like this. A
no.
relationship man.
And now he's trying to pull the okey doke on the internet because he's saying that he's in talk with Netflix about getting a
Okay,
movie done.
nah, cut it, homie.
And he even had a video of him at quote unquote Netflix studios.
We got the. It was just it was an empty building in Burbank where he plastered the word Netflix. He spray painted the word Netflix on the side.
Like
I'm
he
over here
was
at
like
Netflix Studios.
he's like, yeah, LA, whenever you ready. He was like, oh, I got this far. I'm gonna try this shit on the internet. Like, let's just go all the
Yeah,
way
you
with
can't
it.
fool the internet, man. You could do it for a few minutes, but it's always a motherfucker with a keen eye. Like that end
Yes,
doesn't look like it's sharp and crisp enough on the edges. He
right.
obviously photoshopped that in. And then they'll be like, dude, I've seen. Have you ever seen them? Don't fuck with cats, the Netflix show. All right, it was about this dude. It was like a fucking serial. Like he fucked with animals real hard. Like he would
Mhm.
murder animals on film and then put it on the internet. But he was trying
Oh
to be
wow.
anonymous, right? And I think they found him based off of like he did another video, and it was like the lamp post or the red light box. The
Hmm.
red light box, somebody knew based off of that, like where he was in the world, and then they found his ass. It was off of some
Oh
fucking
yeah.
dude. they be the internet detectives. Sometimes they get it wrong, but when they get it right, they will find your ass.
Yeah.
You gotta be hiding in that same hole that
Mm-mm.
Saddam Hussein was hiding in. And they'll be like, they know exactly his fucking location.
Yo, did he write up a contract or snag one off the internet? Man, I'm telling you, this man is like, I guess he feels good because he got over on her, but he's saying she's lying, obviously. So
Right.
I'm gonna get those videos and I'm gonna throw them up. But yeah, he's calling himself the relationship man, and his ex stepson, I think, yeah, his ex stepson also put out a video apparently. So it's just getting deeper and deeper with these people. This is great.
Didn't think anything of it because it's like, okay,
What up, BGTV?
it
Get up.
fell through. We'll see. We'll reschedule. Um, and so we just went out to eat, and
What
then
up,
he
BG
talked to
TV?
another brother, the brother from Augusta that he would
I like
have on
Miss
speakerphone.
Burger.
So it was like, I didn't think anything of it. I really didn't. Um, man, and the more I talk about it, the more I realize, like,
I know she feels foolish,
I'm
man.
I'm not a dumb person,
Yeah.
but it just never dawned on me
I know I would.
the things that you have
Right.
to now
I'd be
investigate.
like, I'm really stupid.
It didn't dawn on me,
Oops.
but nevertheless, that is the backstory for his family. Right, grandmother passed away. 3 weeks later, he called me and told me his uncle had passed away from COVID. The uncle had tested positive, had to go into the hospital, and he died. It was
Oh
a bit of a red
damn,
flag.
I missed that.
It was a bit of
Wait,
Who is that who died?
the uncle got tested and then just passed away.
He killing characters off this shit. I'm surprised he wasn't in. He be in the living room talking about. Dun, dun, dun. She's like, man, my life is like a soap opera. Ugh.
You know, I would hear so many people like, "Yo, my life is like a movie." This motherfucker actually made it into a movie.
Into a movie and shit.
Oh my god!
bit of a red flag, but like I said, I don't play about death. So I was just like, wow.
I would never put this online, Taylor Noir. If this, well, okay, let me put it like this: I think she knew this shit was gonna go viral
She knew this story was
because
she.
that's
Yeah,
the payoff for her. Because I wouldn't
yeah.
put it online. You know what I mean?
Maybe she realized, look, this dude already treated me like shit, so I might as well
Yeah,
capitalize on it.
get paid off of it. Yeah.
Maybe she was worried that he would put his side of the story online first.
You think? Well, or
Because this
being that he's
motherfucker
already
was
in talks with Netflix.
right, or he had enough footage.
Right, right. Maybe she decided to get ahead of the narrative, to get ahead of the
Yeah,
story.
I'm the same way. I'm with Taylor. You keep your money. I need my motherfucking
I need my
identity
bride.
and my identity and respect, self respect intact. Like
Yes.
if I trip and fall, I'll be like, hey, y'all see that? I look stupid
you
as
want
fuck
me?
right there.
You want me to
This
do
shit
it
was
again?
hilarious. I can show y'all what it looked like.
Because of these two
Right.
deaths, he became a stickler about COVID. And when I mean a stickler, wear your
Oh,
mask, wear gloves, hand
that's
sanitize,
good.
wash your hands. Like he was annoying about making sure
He
neither
is good. He killed two characters off to keep
Just to
her
keep her in
just
the crib, like
and away
I
from all the other fake characters.
right, can't go near anybody else. Uncle Leroy might give it to you.
Right?
either one of us caught COVID. So now I'm gonna give you the backstory in regards to what I was told with the ex.
Hey, and look at who we got today. Boom.
Hey, what's up, LA?
We in the building. What
The
is
comic book
Hey,
up?
lady.
LA back.
LA motherfucking anime. What's up, everybody?
LA anime just couldn't get enough of me.
I
That's
couldn't.
what
Oh
she
my
told me in
god, I'm so
private.
obsessed with Nova Ray right now. Like I've been wanting to meet her for so long. Um, I've dreamed about being on some form of iteration of the smoke arena, and I feel like I've made it.
I finally made it. People like me.
What up, Frank?
What's up, Frank? What's up,
What's up, Frank?
Midwest?
Hey, how
I
you
heard you
doing?
getting an album this year, bro.
I'm trying. I am
Hey.
Well, get your
trying
life together
so
because
hard.
them lyrics better be hot, okay?
Hey, you know how I do.
I know. Smoke all day. I know it. I'm ready
All
Yeah.
right,
for it.
LA. Can you introduce Midwest? Because I did a shitty job at doing it. I was.
Oh, to this whole
I need you to
debacle?
introduce him. No,
Yeah.
and just introduce him to
Oh,
the
introduce
audience, to
Midwest.
the
Oh
future audience.
man,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? We got one of the best lyricists in the game right
Yes.
now in terms of freestyling, in terms of all around songwriting. He's killing the game. He's about to come up with this album this summer, produced by Team MFN. He's my dog, my homie, top of the line. Give it up, everybody. What do y'all say? What do y'all say? Putting the clams in the chat. I don't even know what that means.
Uh, Cake farts
Motherfucking
in the chat.
fabric. Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. I
All
also
right.
do parties and bar
And birthdays, bar mitzvahs,
mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs,
corporate events,
church events. Oh, praise Jesus! I
church
do all of
events.
them. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me back. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh no, no, it was a lot of fun yesterday. This is a crazy story, so I enjoy you guys being here to talk about it with me. Cause I'll be watching some of this shit, like not this particularly, but other things, and I'll just be talking to myself. So this is great. Like
It's better to have people to talk to,
I'm
isn't
like,
it?
this is some bullshit, ain't it? I'm like,
Right, you
yeah,
tapping
fucking
nobody like, hey, this is I'm talking I'm
You
doing this to
turn to your
nobody.
left and you're like, "Oh, I'm by myself." Oh,
Yeah, I'm alone. I'm so alone. Get a jacket, start
So
huddling and shit.
yeah, but she's crazy. So this whole family
yeah.
dynamic, please pay attention because when she reveals what the
Mm.
actual family background is, you're gonna be like, "What in the entire
Oh
schlaga
goodness.
is
See,
going on?"
that's why I didn't watch it here because I didn't want to get like the big
Listen,
reveal.
when I tell you I sat the day, I think it was the day or maybe a day after it came out, and I sat and watched the entire like 4 to 5 hour. It was like listening to an audiobook. Like it is
Uh-huh.
insane. Insane.
I've been keeping myself from watching it because I'm like, I want it to be a fresh, but it's good that other people are watching it because y'all can kind of keep up, but maybe I lose certain things. But I haven't watched it, and I'm like, it's been so hard, especially when I put these videos together. I'm like, fuck, okay, because I hear some of the beginnings, and I'm like, wait, what did she just say? Okay, no, don't watch it. Don't
Yeah.
watch it.
I had
Don't
to put
watch
my
uh,
wife on.
if you want to be like surprised, if you want to know as
yeah,
your audience knows, don't even because you can fall down the rabbit hole very, very quickly.
Yeah, be
yeah.
careful around people like my. I
Uh,
was I was hesitant. I told my wife about it though because I know she be loving these. She watched like half the housewife shows.
Oh, I love
So
yeah,
a
she
good
oh
housewife. Now,
yeah.
don't play with me.
yeah. So
Me
she
and
no
your
she
wife
is
be besties.
her
Don't
and
play
yeah
now.
her and Andy Cohen, man. They already got the link up.
For real.
So I
Frank
knew
said,
she
I'm
was
so
like this.
Frank said, I'm so invested in the story. If you don't go live for a day covering this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me like they're into this whole story, so it's been fun to do. All right, so we're at the point. I think the grandmother passed away, the uncle passed away. So now we have two dead family members, and he's using that as a reason for them to not do anything now because of potentially getting infected by the 19. What up, Sargento?
The ex-wife.
Hey,
Okay.
Sargento,
I
what's
know I
up, bro?
look rough, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so this is part 12 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
I like how she went from
So
long
this
hair to
is the
gangster hair.
backstory on what I prepared for the
She look like she about to
ex-wife.
fight
This
Rocky
is
fucking.
important.
Now
Pay
she
attention.
is the epitome of a dress up, dress down type of girl. Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
right.
Like
She do
when
it
she put that
all.
black shirt on for work, that hair is popping. She ready.
Yeah,
But
she
when
like she
she at
about to hit the
home,
club.
she
She
ready to
like
do something else.
she about to run in the sand and punch meat somewhere.
She's a wrecking machine.
Right. You're a bum, Rocky.
Throw in the goddamn towel.
Oh,
All right.
God.
This is 2020. So this is what I was told in 2020. I was told that he and his ex-wife used to be friends. Then they started dating and subsequently got married. They got married in California. He had bought a house with the money that he made from arena football. They had apparently had gotten married on the downward of the arena football career. Um, had a nice house. He showed me a picture of the house, showed me pictures inside the house. Remember that? Showed me pictures inside the house. It was a really nice home in San Diego. And basically, what happened was that he came home from work early one day and the hiccup, sorry. Came home early from work one day and his wife was sleeping with another man. The man was in the house.
Oh,
He and the man get into it. Her son, who um, is about 17 years old in 2020, um, she had two kids, a daughter and a son. The son apparently was on his way home from school when my ex-husband found his previous wife in bed with another man.
okay.
So the story goes
That's
that he and the
convoluted
guy
as hell.
fought. He kicked.
Right. So he came home, found the ex-wife with another dude. The son was on the way home. I guess it's gonna be important for some
Right. I
reason.
hope so, because she's throwing out a lot of details. Like the son didn't really do anything. I just wanted to let
Well,
you know he had
but
it.
see, this is the
Right.
thing. She's throwing out a lot of details because he threw out a lot of details.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
she
know.
wants everybody to understand how much information he was giving her
At the same time.
at the time. Yeah.
Right.
So he's
Right, yeah.
really giving these, just a lot of detail. And then it's a lot of detail. Yeah.
She
Go ahead.
did say that she did say she was recording like
Audio diary.
Diaries.
audio diary. So maybe
Hmm.
that's why she has all the details. That's all I'm really marveling at, is the fact that she has so much detail. And I think it was her who posted the
Hmm.
story. She came
Yeah, it
out
was her.
first with it.
It was her
Now
telling the story.
he didn't come out until afterwards, I don't
Till
think.
way after. Yeah. Well, not way after, but he came
So
out
after
right
everything
after.
was already
Yeah.
complete,
Yeah.
basically, her whole story.
Yeah. Who's on the board? Thank you for the super prayer. Super proud of Midwest staying awake this long. Cake farts in the chat from Midwest staying awake.
Mm-mm. I'm a grown
Yeah,
up.
so it does make sense though. Usually liars do that.
Yeah, they
They
do.
provide a whole lot of detail to
Too much
confuse you.
detail. That's
Yeah.
one of the hallmarks of a liar. Like, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't care what time. It was like, it was 5:55. I was
Right.
wearing a
Right.
blue shirt on
But
the
that's
left side
that's
of the
the
room.
but that's the type of information he's giving her. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she's giving her
Yeah.
all the
He's having all
minutia.
of these conversations regularly on the phone. He's showing her these quote unquote documents.
Yeah, it's
He's
Hmm.
all
giving her.
mundane shit. That's why she didn't question
Yeah,
a lot of it. Like, it's a
exactly.
phone call. It's just a phone call.
It's
Why would I
just a phone
care?
Hmm.
call. Right.
But
Right. And
Right.
to
who
her,
does that? Who
but this
does
is the
that?
thing
Like,
though, to her, she's just listening on the outside. So you never know
right,
who somebody's talking to a lot of the time unless their phone
exactly.
volume
It's
is
on
up and you can hear the
speakerphone.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Man just talking to himself. That is wild. That is a wild dedication to
This
the
motherfucker
story.
was calling movie phone. He talking this shit. He like, yeah, so you want to come
Guardians
through
of
at
the Galaxy
7:30?
3,
Yeah. If you would like to see, press
245,
4.
3, 315,
He's like, oh really?
425.
I ain't gonna be able to make it. All right. Like
Movie
touch
phone.
tone all confused and shit.
Please press
Trying to get
0
the
for
right
a
person.
customer service rep. 'Cause I don't know what you're talking about right
I didn't quite understand that.
now. Please repeat that number again.
You even got movie phone interested. Could you say
You
that
know
one
the
more time?
The numbers for the 19 crazy. And she on the other line.
Movie phone sitting there like, so your grandmother died? That's crazy. Please press one
Right,
if
right.
you
Movie
want to
phone is
see
interested in this shit
color
too.
purple. You got
If
the
you want to
VP
live
tribe?
out the
That's
details
amazing.
of Color Purple.
And they give you a BMW. Great.
Yeah.
Who would you
Please
like to
press
speak to
one
now?
to.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Kicked the guy out. He kicked his ex-wife out, but told her the kids could stay. The kids are not biologically his; those are his stepkids. She was like, "You must be kidding! Like, I'm not leaving my kids here." The kids are old enough to where
I
I
did
knew
they
that.
not.
were like, we don't want to go because
No,
you
Miss
fucked
Parker,
up.
that
We
was
don't
me
want to leave.
snorting.
She
So
was like, I
apparently,
absolutely
she
didn't do
leaves.
that.
The kids stay with him for a few weeks, and uh, then she gets her own place. The kids move out, move in with their mom. He files for divorce in California.
She saw the divorce
He
papers.
files for divorce in California, and it was an ugly divorce. She was asking for spousal support, all kinds of stuff, and then it turned
Oh, is
into
that why he
uh,
needed the offshore accounts? Because she was asking for spouses.
He got shell corporations and shit.
Oh man, the
um,
bitch trying to take
you
his
know,
money.
I'll help you with the kids, not child support, but just I will give you
All
some
that
money for
arena
the kids because
football wealth.
apparently he was
Yeah.
very close to the kids and he wanted to keep a relationship with the kids. Their biological fathers, apparently there were two fathers. Their biological fathers were not in the picture. So um, the divorce starts out contested and ugly, eventually becomes amicable. Eventually they become cordial with each other. So my ex-husband moved. This is all before he ever met me.
The
So
divorce
I'm
papers
telling
was
you the
just a
story of
paper
what
with
I
the
With
word
was.
the
divorce in the
chains.
middle. It just said divorce. You open it up, it says, I divorced you.
Who's on the board? Thank you for the super prayer, Miss Parker. If you get married in that state, do you have to sign a prenup for who gets the single wide and Temu lawn tractor? Hashtag Clay County dating.
Oh
Thank
my
you for
God.
the super prayer.
Timu has lawn tractors. Do you have to put them together yourself?
I'm sure.
Right.
So you can box the
I'm
parts.
sure they just give you like the metal and you have to forge
You have to weld
you
it.
have to forge the
they
board yourself.
give you
This
the
lawn
instructions, but
tractor.
it's in like Chinese though.
Right. To which then
Lawn
you have to
tractor.
buy the metal forger in order to. So it's a thing. It's a
It gets
thing.
a little
A
it's a
whole
little
lawn tractor for
costly.
50 cents turns out to be 500.
$500,000 for the smelting pot that you gotta fucking buy.
You know I had to go take welding classes to make this
Right.
Temu lawnmower, right?
I had to become a
But I
master
got it for 50
welder.
cents. It was amazing.
50 cents and 6 months of dedication. Look at my lawns now. I've made it.
What I was told in 2020. So eventually, about 2 years later, is when his job approached him about an opportunity to transfer to Georgia. And so he took it. New beginning, fresh start. He has family in Georgia. He took it. He told me this story pretty much the second or third conversation we had. So it was always from the beginning that she had cheated. He caught her, and he had filed for divorce, but he was still close to the kids. They still had a great relationship. I've heard him. I've heard him on the phone with the kids, just encouraging them, helping the 17-year-old like with homework. The kids really apparently wanted to meet me, and I was fine with that. Um, he would apparently he would send them money, if they needed something because he loved the kids as if they were his own. I'm telling you the story as I was told it in 2020.
She gotta keep
So
saying that.
let's
Mm.
see, around April or May of 2020, he informs me that his ex-wife has moved to Georgia. Apparently, she's staying with her sister in Gwinnett County. So she's moved to Georgia. The two kids are now in Georgia. And so when he tells me all this, I'm like, so what's that supposed to mean?
Right.
Now, I will say this. He never made it seem as if she wants him back. He never presented that. It was always, no, we're cool for the kids. We're cool for the kids. Um, but he's never presented that.
Okay. Isn't she lovely? Says, Sis brought that on herself. She is just as toxic and dysfunctional as he is. That man didn't have red flags, he had sirens.
He did have sirens. Absolutely right. He had
They
sirens.
they were very audible and
So let me
visual.
tell you something. Desperation is a hell of a drug.
Is a
That's why that
motherfucker.
quote is that's why that quote is so good.
Okay.
Because when you have rose-colored glasses,
Yes,
all the
you will
red
look at
flags just like
when
regular
you
ass
are
flags.
exactly when you are so
Hmm.
desperate to find a man that's going to take care of you and you don't have to worry about it and it's your turn and you're getting the ring and you're having the baby and you're buying the
Hmm.
cars and all this stuff. You are willing to, and she has said it, and I think she said it earlier, like, I saw the red flags. I saw them.
Right.
Yeah.
I just overlooked them.
I I just let him go because
Yeah.
the
Okay, so
first time he lied,
mhm,
she should have
Yeah,
been
she
out.
said, yeah.
right. Do you
That's some
think
20
that
year old shit.
her like having ignored those red flags and then coming online to tell the entire story later, is that maybe a function of her own toxicity? You know what I mean? Like although she may have been desperate, right? Could it be that she's just also equally toxic, just in a different way? You know how you got them like nice, quote unquote, nice guys, nice girls, and they're usually
Hmm.
like the worst fucking people ever.
Yeah,
Could
Yeah.
it
if you
be?
call yourself a nice guy, you might as well just back away from that
And
dude.
Yes.
I'm sure she had a lot of issues
Hmm.
because as you get closer to the end of it, you can probably see she could have some anger and stuff, but that also equates to what she's been
Hmm.
through, you know. So we don't really know a lot of hers because she's telling the story
Yeah,
and
this is a one sided
Right.
story so
it's a
far.
one-sided story, but the thing about it is you get other accounts from other people. He
Hmm.
tells his side of the story, but because his credibility is so bad, you really don't get a look into what it was like being with her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Because
Right.
So,
it was a case of desperation. Because I know a few people who was like didn't know each other that well, had just started relationships, so they but
mhm,
COVID and when COVID happened, and it was like fuck it, let's just ride it out together, like on some
Hmm.
movie shit. But that shit rarely ever ends with happily ever after. So
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, her ex husband could probably quit his VP job or won't have to be a VP if he like took this whole series. Like, if he reacted to every part of this series, you know how much money he'd make. like,
Oh my
like
God,
real
he
talk,
would make so much money.
he will
He
make
would make so
so
much money
much
just
money.
rebuttaling every aspect of what she's saying. People would
Yes,
follow him and give him those views for sure. For sure.
yes. Yup. Who's on the board? Thank you for the super prayer. Miss Parker, Gary seems he misses your female pickle. Oh no. Thank you
what
for
the
the
fuck
super
does that
prayer.
even mean?
Yeah.
Oh
How
no.
does that work?
I don't know.
That sounds like some inside baseball shit right there. The fuck is a female pickle?
oh my god.
That
Listen, D
she
Roy
was
yesterday
trying
was
to be.
talking about how women's
Oh.
vaginas
God,
were
D-Roy.
glued seal, okay, and that you
Oh,
can remove
this
the glue seal
motherfucker.
with some makeup remover. So
Does
we
he
don't
have
even.
kids? No,
Yes,
right?
yes, he
He
has
does.
kids, and
So he's procreating with
one of them is
somebody.
a part of the LGBTQA plus community, AI plus.
Oh no, I feel bad for that
Oh
person
wow.
because
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
he hates that kid. Like, goddamn, I
It's
made a
crazy.
wrong one.
It's crazy to hear him talk about it too. I think.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. I
Uncle
feel
Ruckus
bad for
got
that kid.
kids.
To get him back.
Violet says real quick,
Oh good. Hmm?
her ex husband right now is posting lies. He's pretending he's talking to Netflix
Yes.
and is photoshopping
Oh my
himself
god, that's
at
for real.
headquarters and I
yes.
can send
I was
y'all
joking when I
screenshots.
said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, LA.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
joking when I said that he fucking. I said he spray painted a blank building with the Netflix logo, but that's
If he's
essentially the
smart enough
same
to
thing as
time
photoshopping it.
if he's smart enough to con these women the way he has, supposedly, I wouldn't put it past him to try to go for a Titan
Uh,
like Netflix or something like
See,
that.
you're
now
right.
you giving him
And
too
to
much.
try
You
to
giving
get it
him too much
before her, because
credit.
that's the idea. He
You
wants
giving
to take
him
it away from her.
you giving him
Yes,
too much
yes.
credit though, because I don't think it's that he's smart enough. The only thing he's really
True.
smart about is
True.
that he's smart enough to find broken women to do this to.
Hmm.
That's
Right.
it.
Well,
He found easy. He's picking off easy targets.
Okay, then I
that's the
won't say
thing.
smart. I'll say cocky or like
Yeah,
just bold.
cunning.
Audacious,
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of
yeah. We don't
audacity.
want people to start calling a motherfucker like that smart.
I mean, he, like I
Facts.
said, he said, "Hey, I got hurt. Let me try the internet. Let me see how far this con can go." And now he's trying it with the internet. But the internet is full of people that got a lot of time on their hands, and they will make it their business to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know he's already gotten like threats and everything like that.
Can you
Um,
pay my bill?
I feel like it's fair to her for me to say that. And again, stay with me. It all comes out. But that was the backstory in regards to the ex wife. That they got married in California, they divorced in California, and then she eventually moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County, after he had transferred to Georgia for his job. He did tell me that, every now and then he'll get a text message from her. He told me that he, told her when I was pregnant, he felt like she needed to hear that from him instead of hearing it from the kids. And we got into a bit of an argument about that. But, honey, in the big scheme of things, that anyway, so we got into an argument about that. I felt like that's none of her business. Um, but that's the overall backstory of her. So remember, because there will be a quiz, but just remember, he um, met her in California, married her in California, divorced her in California. She moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County after he moved to Georgia. Are we clear? Okay. Okay. Part 13 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Um, so I've kind of given you guys all the backstory. Let's just kind of recap real quick. So I told you how we met in
And
March of
yes, y'all, some of her
2020.
videos are very low.
Basically,
Yeah. What is she
yeah.
recording on? Like, did she throw the phone on the
Her
floor or some
phone, yeah,
shit?
I don't know.
Her microphone is up on the ceiling.
Georgia got shut
Honestly.
down. I keep saying shut down, got locked down. We decided to quarantine together. I know it was crazy. It was crazy. Um, I really liked him and thought he liked me. So I told you guys how we met. Um, things moved at a rapid pace. Met in March, moved in together pretty much beginning of end of March, beginning of April. Found out I was pregnant in May. Lost the baby in June. Had to have surgery in July. Started looking for houses. Started looking at cars. All this stuff happened literally between March
He hold
and
on.
the end of, excuse
Mhm.
me, and all.
He got her pregnant, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got her
Okay.
pregnant in May.
I don't. This might sound callous, but the best thing that could have happened is if she lost that baby. Because if not, she would have been tied to that motherfucker for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if she would have kept, like, if that wouldn't have happened, and then she had to deal with that on top of, oh man, the way he would have been running her around child support. Ooh,
Yeah. It would have been. It would
Listen,
have been
for
like.
those who believe in the Lord and for those who don't, that was the universe. That was some
mm,
kind of entity
yeah,
or, environment. The world was telling that heifer, like, get out now.
yes, that too.
Right.
Get out
Look,
right now.
the universe is like, look, I don't do this shit very often, man. So
Yeah,
you need to
because,
fucking go.
the universe gave you this, and the universe was like, say, Shawty, we didn't even check his references. Go ahead and get up out.
Right. Sorry, we didn't do a background check. That shit
We
came
didn't
back.
do
He
that
fucking
background
he
check.
fooled us.
My bad. It's the pandemic. We a little busy right now. You know what I'm saying? We a
The
little busy.
background check was a burner phone that was him
My
talking on it.
God.
Like he's a stand-up guy. I've known him for over 20
But I
years.
also think that instance as well drew her more and more to him,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah,
unfortunately, even though it was a huge sign to maybe
yeah. I think so too.
get out of this, it drew her more and more into the situation.
Which I don't understand because his the way he
Not
treated
murder
it
phone Peter.
afterwards, the way he treated it afterwards, that would have been my sign to go. Like the fact
Hmm.
that he wasn't at the hospital, he
Yeah,
didn't
That I
take her
oh,
to
had to
get
wait 3.5 hours for you to get to the
right.
hospital.
That would
Mm-mm.
have
right,
been it
yeah.
for me. No
Yeah,
houses, no
Taco, she
cars, no
got pregnant
nothing.
by this dude. But
Yes.
Bertaphone fetus is the best best thing I've heard all week.
She got pregnant 2 months after they met. Wait, no, March, April, May. Yeah, yeah, 2 months. Oh,
August is when I got my car. So, um, got a car in August. He paid the down payment for that car, um, which I was shocked by. And no, it was not a BMW or an Audi. It was a Nissan Altima, but I loved that car at the time.
Ultimate's good.
So he
Yeah,
paid the
it's a
down
nice
payment for
car.
that car. Told me he would help
Hmm.
me with the car payment. The biggest mistake that I made, and I'll explain why I say this. The biggest
Yeah,
mistake
that's
I made
heavy.
was that I signed myself up for a car note, where I knew I needed his help to pay the car note. I knew better.
That was the biggest
My
mistake.
mom has always taught me, do not ever put yourself in a position where you are financially dependent on a man. And
See?
all of that went out the window.
Hmm.
And the reason why I say that was the biggest mistake is because when I have pulled back the layers of this whole monstrosity of life that I lived for 2020 and 2021, it really does boil down to the fact that I truly ended up marrying him more out of fear
Oh my
than
gosh, she
anything
married
else.
him.
And
Holy
I'll
shit.
Yeah.
expand upon that later. But um, I got the car in August,
She was like, I
and
guess.
by this point I was
At
exhausted.
the
I was
altar,
ready
she's
to
like, I
call it.
guess.
Because remember,
God,
I believe
we've
she
come this
told,
far.
I don't know if she told the story, but this is in between this, and she may go back and say it. But when
Mm,
she was pregnant, he went and took her ring shopping and stuff, right? And then bought this ring because she's pregnant. And oh, because everybody was like, girl, when did you get, hold on, you talking about y'all got married? When did you get married? Like you missed this whole spot. Because she
mm,
tells the story, but she misses chunks of it. So you
mm.
don't get the whole proposal, you don't get the marriage, you don't get any of that stuff. And then you up and you're like, because remember, she was like, oh yeah, and then I was pregnant. What you mean you was pregnant? Wait a minute. Can we get this,
And we get
broken
that
down in bullet points?
right.
You ain't got no bullet points on the side of the video.
Right. Come on. Gotta give us the
Violet.
full story.
He photoshopped his photo in Netflix headquarters and said he's been talking to them for 14 days. And Teresa is a liar, but his dumbass photoshopped himself in the Netflix headquarters in Singapore.
That is hilarious. And how are you going to say you've been talking to them for
For
14
14 days.
days when this story hasn't been out for 14
He,
days?
he preemptively was talking to
I
Netflix. Like,
told
look,
you he knew it. He knew what was gonna happen.
He
Bro,
was
you see
like,
the
look.
he told himself in 2021, he was like, in 2024, this heifer gonna try to tell this story. And I swear to
see,
God, I'm gonna beat this bitch to it. I'm gonna do it.
hey, remember that shit off of Chappelle show, Negrodamus?
Yes.
This motherfucker's Negrodamus. Like,
He predicted
calling
it.
me now.
He knew it. He knew it.
He knew it. In 2014,
Don't
she
be
gonna try
mad
to
that I
get
didn't
me.
get a
Okay, good.
No, that was it. I was just
BMW X5 dark blue with cognac interior. Um, and I was tired of looking at houses, getting my hopes up, looking at a house and picturing myself in the master bedroom, the kitchen, the island, all that stuff. I'm a visual person, and I was tired of giving my
Then why
getting my
couldn't you see
hopes
this
up.
shit coming?
Um,
Right.
so now we're going
I'm
to
just kidding.
segue into fall, going into the holidays.
Damn.
that is such a defeated sigh, man.
I
Jesus.
was about to. That was one of them
Jesus
signs where
Christ.
he was like, "Damn, I was a dumbass." Like
She
that's one of them signs where you're like, "Fuck, man, how did I do that? How did I
Right.
it's,
fall for that?"
it's one
Kind
of
of
them
Yeah,
sides
fucked
where
up.
you're like, someone just kill me right
Right.
you're
now.
right, right.
Just take me, please, because this
Like,
is
This some bullshit. Um,
that's that side when she realized she probably shouldn't have told this story on TikTok.
right. She's like, maybe I should have just kept this shit to myself.
Now that I think about it, 13 parts in, maybe I should have kept this shit to
Is
myself.
this gonna make me look bad? This is the first time she thought of that.
How
How's
are
this
they
gonna
gonna know?
make me
They're
look?
not gonna know. They're gonna know.
No. It's like, no, I'm gonna come out good on top at the end. She's gonna get a movie deal.
uh,
Here's what happened.
oh man.
In October, we looked at another house.
Oh God,
It
not
was
the
this
house
was in
again.
Marietta.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely gorgeous. Um, it was gorgeous. I want to say that the house was about $700,000. I really liked the house. I could see myself living there. Could see myself cooking there. Um, and so subsequently, my ex-husband put in an all-cash offer on that house. I watched him put an all-cash offer in on the house.
Hey, watch out, bull cat.
Our real estate agent, Scott, called us
Get out of
about
here.
24 hours later,
Sorry.
and he said, the sellers love your offer. The offer was an all cash, full asking price offer.
Oh God, it just keeps getting better and better.
700,000. Let that sink in for a moment.
Wait,
He said
seven
this.
hundred thousand he put in cash. Like this
All
is the
And
time
cash.
all
where
cash. All
and
cash.
think about it. You had to put the car under a note, but the house he paid in cash,
Yeah. This
or he was
motherfucker had
about
a
to pay in
he
cash.
had a briefcase that when you open it up, it was just like a gold light. Like in Pulp Fiction. This nigga had the ultimate prize and shit.
Well, what we didn't know is that he had a safe full of gold bricks from 1912 that
Is this
he had
Marcellus
saved up
Wallace?
from his great grandfather.
Yeah, he had gold
um,
doubloons.
Violet. Some of the videos are low. It'll pick. I think it should pick up in the next part.
She's
That the
gaslighting
sellers love
herself.
the offer. They are asking that you show proof of funds so that they can accept the offer. My ex-husband said, I will show proof of funds when they accept the offer.
Ooh,
The seller
Staller's
said,
Gambit.
great, we'll accept the offer when you show proof of funds.
Oh my
So
God.
basically, we got into
22.
a standoff. Um, and if you're a real estate agent or you work in real estate, I would love to know your thoughts on this. I had asked people in my personal life, like, have you ever heard of this before? And I've had plenty of people who said I side with the ex-husband. I would not show my bank statements until they accepted the offer. And then I had other people who were like, I wouldn't accept an all cash offer unless I verified that the person can pay.
Yeah,
So
what?
Right, because it's
Wait
all
a minute.
because like
I'm sorry, go
essentially
ahead.
it's right. Essentially, like when you go for a mortgage, right? Don't you show them the fact that you got approved for the mortgage? So
Yeah,
that's like proof of funds, right? Because you're
Yes.
getting approved by the bank or whatever. They're gonna pay it.
exactly.
Yes.
You
So
have
it's
to
like
When
show
it's
you
the
initially
it.
get a realtor, they have to go to the bank to get an approval of how much money you can actually pay.
right.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah. So if you're offering an all cash offer, yeah, they want to see that because they're gonna
bro.
go through all that paperwork for
And Miss
nothing.
Parker hit it on the nail. The realtor, the agent
Yeah, the agent
should
fucked up.
have gotten proof of funds
That's what I was
before
gonna
they went
say.
looking for this caliber of house.
Yo, I just sold my house last year,
Hmm.
and they came with an all cash offer too, right? But it don't matter because even if you come with an all cash offer, you still got to put earnest money down, and you still got to show that you can pay the fucking
Yep.
money that you say you're gonna pay. Because I'm
Yep.
not gonna go into an agreement with somebody for hundreds of thousands of dollars that I don't know has that money. I'm not gonna go into an
Right.
agreement for $20 with somebody if I don't think they have the money. So
Right.
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
just how it is. Who are these people she's talking to? She get bad advice. Maybe those are the people she needs to stop fucking with.
Well, I
That's
can
why.
also understand both sides. It's like I don't want to give a company that I don't know or a real, you know what I mean? You know, because I'm looking for the house, but I don't want to give that side necessarily my bank information, which is why your realtor is supposed to have that information.
Right.
Right. Somebody
Right.
They
Because that's
keeps
what I
agent
getting
would
on
think.
cussed
your
on my
behalf and they let them know, yes, they have this
yes.
amount of money
I've
they're
seen
looking.
it.
Yeah. But I can understand him not wanting to do that. But keep going because it gets there.
Oh no, this
Curious.
guy's
What
the
your thoughts are.
worst.
Okay.
Right.
So our real estate agent called us and was like, guys, the sellers are giving you 2 days to show proof of funds.
Ultimatum.
I had the letter that he showed me from Chase. I sent that to Scott,
That chase
but
letter.
that was for a
Fu-
That
mortgage.
chase letter been doing so much work. Oh
His
my god.
Photoshop skills, his Photoshop game is on point.
And
This
another
motherfucker
thing,
got
you know, he's
placement,
only
color
showing
right,
her screenshots. She's not seeing hard physical evidence of this stuff.
log your ass into the site in front of me, motherfucker. I want to see this
Right.
shit on the website.
The offer was for all cash. So
Red
he
flag.
needed to show all that he needed to show proof of funds that he had the cash to pay $700,000. He didn't show it.
Of course he didn't.
He refused to budge
He's a
on
hell
showing
no.
them proof of funds until they accepted the offer because he was afraid that they were going to create a bidding war. So, what ended up happening was Scott called us and said, I apologize because I didn't do my due diligence as a realtor. He said,
Right.
before I ever started showing you guys a house, I should have
Yep.
collected your pre approval letter and proof of funds.
There
Boom.
He
we
said, so at this point, my broker has informed me that I cannot show you guys another house
go.
until
Ooh.
you show at least us, meaning the real estate firm,
Mm.
until you show us proof of funds.
Boom.
And so I'm just like, well, I'm telling my ex husband, just show them the fucking proof of funds. Like, what's the problem? Um, and so it was a lot of, I find that this is really unprofessional
Sorry, my cat's
because
trying to
it's
eat
not
my
our
cord.
fault that you didn't do your job correctly. It got a little ugly and it got uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't understand why you don't show them proof of funds when you clearly just signed a document stating that you're putting an offer in at full asking
Right.
price. This was the same thing that the realtor was saying. He was like, but you just signed an offer. So
Again,
what's the
sis,
problem?
that don't mean nothing.
Like, you want them to
Mm-hmm.
accept the offer and then you'll show everyone the proof of funds? And my ex husband, without missing a beat, said yes.
Yep. He was like, yep,
So
I'm a liar.
Scott did his best to work with the seller and say, look, accept the offer. He'll show you, he'll open the books, he'll show you the proof of funds. These sellers were like, no, that's not. And it wasn't so much the sellers, it was the seller's agent.
Yeah.
Big respect to the seller's agent. But the seller's agent was like, no, that's not how we're doing business. He needs to show those proof of funds before I advise my clients to accept his offer. Period. If he's not willing to do it, we'll go on to the next offer because they did have another offer on the table. For it was less than asking price,
Oh.
but um, they were willing to accept that offer over the all cash offer because those people had basically shown proof. So subsequently, the house fell through. We passed the 2 day deadline. They went with the other offer. Also, at this point, our real estate agent, Scott, and I do not blame him for this, pretty much cut all ties
How
because what he, I believe, felt like
did
was,
Scott see the red flags before you? Scott was like,
Yeah,
this
this motherfucker was
motherfucker.
waving them on the way out, like, nope, see ya. Dude, when
He was
somebody with
like,
money invested in that shit walks away, you should have thought about that at that point.
yeah, yep. He was like, oh no, baby, you got to go too. Like, oh my god, how did
I
he
don't
see
know what's
before
going
her?
on,
I was just a
but
talking and
something's
talking.
crazy.
Oh no.
I'm Miss Parker. No,
Miss Parker.
I did. I'm Miss Parker's replacement today. Um, This is the crazy part about it, right? So this shows, this introduces the fact that there are two realtors, to which we'll find out both of these realtors are named Scott, because his original realtor that he was talking
Hilarious.
to, that she never met, talked to, or saw, was named
Mhm.
Scott, and it was his friend. This is a new realtor that she went and got,
Who just happened to be
because
God.
he kept dropping the ball with the other houses. So she was like, I'm just going to go get my own realtor because we're not having this happen again. And
Mm.
this realtor was finally like, yeah, you own that BS, you know, we're
Which
shutting it down.
which is crazy. Her realtor knew this guy for a fraction of the time that she did, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not dealing with this guy no more, or
Which
I'm
just,
not dealing with y'all." Like,
yeah, which just proves that the first house that fell through,
hmm
that she found out was sold, he never put in for that house. He
right.
never did anything for that. He just signed the paperwork and never did anything else.
This guy, man, and now
And
he's at
this is not how I
Netflix.
do business.
In
So
Singapore.
until you guys are ready to show the proof of funds needed to buy a house, you need to get yourself another agent, because we were already about 20 to 25 houses deep
That's
by this point. We had
crazy.
already put in two other offers, they fell through. And now here we are with this house. And once again, it fell through.
Why, thank you. I love
Okay,
a good mess, honey.
so good news and bad news. Number one, this is part 14 of Who the Fuck Did I
Yeah, I just
Marry?
glitched pretty hard.
Bad news, this is going to be the last post for the night. And the
Is
reason,
it glitching for y'all?
No, that was
No.
I think just me. I think my internet just did
Okay.
some crazy shit.
Okay. I was about to say no. We've gotten so far. Yeah, I would have given up. I would have given up at the hospital. That would have been my red siren.
Yeah.
So okay, now in the chat, what y'all can do is either put a red flag or a red siren. And thank you to who mentioned that, because yeah, when something's like something she should have just not seen past, that's a red siren. The red flags could be things that could kind of be either or, I guess you could say. The
Yeah, like
hospital thing would have been a siren for me.
that would have been a
Hands
siren.
down.
The
Yeah.
house, the initial house, and maybe the car flags, like,
Yeah. Hmm.
because houses do fall through, so
Right.
it's something that when you're prepared to buy a house, you need to know that you're gonna probably go through 5 or 6 houses before you
Before you get
win
that.
win a bidding war. Yeah, before you're actually able to sign on the dotted line. So I get those
Hmm.
things, and it was
I
pandemic
would have.
time, so it was very tough at that time because I was looking for a house during that time. Now it wasn't $700,000, okay,
It was the
but
bluffing. It
it
was
was
the bluffing for
it was
me.
a bluff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was the, I'm gonna
That
sign
was
and I'm gonna give you this money, and mm-mm,
that would have
wasn't
been
gonna
my
happen.
walkaway point when he when he started denying. Anytime you gotta do something like that when it comes to financials, and you're like, no, no, I got it, dog. Trust me. No, no, trust me. I've
Right.
known many con artists who
Yeah.
will get. I knew this dude, man. He had a Land Rover and a BMW. And he had people believing he had 3 or 4 businesses and that he was like a millionaire. But this dude was just kind of everybody out of everything. It was
Wow.
crazy. I've
Mm.
seen it happen in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm a little more aware to it, but I get it. I get it.
Listen, the
Yeah, I've
first
known a
time
few
I got
scammers.
conned on that whole like gift card scam back in the early 2000s, now I'm telling my age, where they're like, "Oh, give me 250 and I'm gonna give you all these gift cards and I'm gonna give
Oh
you buy all this
yeah.
stuff." Man, I got scammed one time. That was a wrap. You hear me?
Hmm.
Yeah, but she was probably in your what 20s.
I was
See,
in my
that's
20s.
and she is very much past her 20s. I'm sure.
She is very much in
Yeah. She
20s.
should. She should have been able to spot the
I don't
scammer
know
when
if she
she
don't have
started.
enough life experience or some shit.
I mean, she lived in the hood. Apparently, like
Well, the way
if
she
you,
talks is that, she went to where she went to school. She said something. She went to Florida or something. She said she went to.
I think so. Yeah.
So, she was like, I know what it's like to, you know what I'm saying? I went to so and so and so. And I was like, okay. well,
Hey, cause I know quite a few scammers, and that man, I would have seen. My breaking point would have been the hospital shit. That would have been it for me. Who's on the board?
yeah.
Thank you for the super prayer. Should have listened to Bishop Bullwinkle. Hashtag hell nah. Thank you for the super prayer. Yeah, I would have been like, oh, you got me waiting for 3 hours. You didn't even come with me to the fucking appointment.
No way.
I'm
Yeah,
over
we're done.
here. Yeah, we're done. Like,
Have
there's
your shit
nothing
packed
past
and
that.
be out of my house by the time
Yeah,
I get home. Because clearly I got to Uber home.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
at this point, I don't want you to come pick me up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I wouldn't have
Exactly.
wanted. I would have already been home. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yep.
Reason why, good news. Tomorrow's my birthday. So I'm just going to make this video, post it, and then I will pick back up probably Friday because honestly, I truly want to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I just want to enjoy my birthday. Um,
Making that money.
Tomorrow's my birthday. So I'm just going to make this video, post it, and then I will pick back up probably Friday because honestly, I truly want to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I just want to enjoy my birthday. Um, all right, so y'all don't be upset. Just if anything, watch parts 1 through 14, then we'll be ready for part 15. So the house fell through in October 2020. And what I told him was, I said, I don't want to look at another house. I don't want to talk about cars. I want to get through the holidays because it was going to be a holiday season where I could not celebrate my family because of
Mm.
COVID. So I said, I just want to get through the holidays. I want to get through the end of the year. Um, and we'll revisit stuff in January. I was very calm when I said it. No argument, nothing like that. Um, and he said he understood. I just, a lot of what fueled me staying in this situation really was the fact that number one, I didn't want to be alone. Number two, I
Mm.
didn't want to look stupid um, by
There it
having
is.
the relationship end so quickly for everyone to be like, we told you something was up. Um, and
Pride,
number three, I was ready to get married. And that
desperation.
Yep.
what ready to get married
Mm.
fueled a lot of stuff. Um,
Man, people be trying to get
and
married.
again, I
It's
was
crazy.
still making my audio diaries. So listening back to it, I knew something
I knew I could
was
capitalize
was
off of
wrong. I admit that. I knew something was
Right.
wrong. But what I thought it was, truthfully,
I'm not gonna lie. I've stayed on dates just to have just to like for the story afterwards. I'm like,
it.
this is a shit show, but I am not going anywhere.
Right, I
I'm
gotta finish
committed to
this.
this shit show.
Hold on, I gotta
So
change the cord real quick.
all right, but I ain't never stayed in a relationship for that reason. Like that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Man, it's really tough to say because I've, liked men before and really just have been have put up with anything for it. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Just to
Yeah.
not be single, just to have somebody lay with you at night. It's pitiful, but you either learn it when you're young or you learn it when you're older, like she had to learn it. I mean, that really
Yeah.
is a part of life, and
That's true.
we laugh at it and we mock it, but there are way more people making these types of decisions than people
Yes.
making logical decisions.
Yes.
Hell, I'm almost, but you are in your 40s. Check yourself, okay? And I still have tendencies to make, irrational decisions that don't make sense
Yeah.
otherwise. So, I get it. It's dumb. Yes. You know, but at the same time, it is reality. It's what people are going through, especially in a time. Can you We can't remember it now, right? Because it's 2024. We've lived through the pandemic. It's over. Everything is back
Right.
to normal. Nobody's
Right.
wearing masks anymore. But if we
Right.
really sit and think back to that time, how scary that shit was. You couldn't go to the
Absolutely.
hospital if you were sick. They were
Mhm.
turning people away for common colds. Unless you had
Mhm.
COVID, you could not go into the hospital.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was an extremely scary time. And to be alone, and as she says, she just wanted to be married. Yeah, she stayed in that situation. She
Yeah.
definitely did.
It was almost like it was at least something. It's almost like I don't know if subconsciously it's this, but like at least you have something to do. As crazy, like as
Right.
wild as that sounds, like
And someone to
if
do it with.
right, even if it's bullshit or whatever. Like I'm sure that just the process of buying a house or the process of like looking for the houses, looking for cars, like
Right.
that was that was romanticized in her head. Like, oh,
Yeah. She
like you
got
said
off
before,
on
like she wanted her moment. And I
it.
get that. I do understand that 100%. It's a cautionary tale. This is why it's good, I think, because as foolish as you know, she may look and as she may feel, at the end of the day, like you said, there's a lot of people that go
She's
through this
gonna
type
help
of shit,
somebody. She's
right?
gonna help
And this
somebody.
will help a lot of people that see these
She's
signs
definitely
and
gonna help
ignore it.
somebody. Yeah, because there's a lot of people accepting either way more BS than she is, which I don't even know how that's
Yes.
possible.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, he wasn't abusing her. Maybe he was lying and he wasn't
But he was
doing a lot of stuff.
manipulative.
He was
Yeah,
very
he was
manipulative,
emotionally
but it
abusing.
wasn't a physical abuse. It
Mm-mm.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like, anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
she was probably looking at that. Well, he ain't abusing me, girl. He ain't putting his
Right.
hands on me, type of thing. So it's so many factors, but it's dumb though. It's wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
It's dumb, 100%. But yeah, I can definitely understand your point, like what you're saying with the time period that it was in. A lot of people were making a lot of wild decisions at that time.
hmm
So
Fully was like, why does it seem like there's always something? Like,
uh
why
huh.
can't we just go ahead and get the house? Um, why is it always something? Why can't I just
girl,
get
because
the
he ain't got the money,
BMW?
girl.
It still didn't dawn on me
Because
He
he
ain't
ain't
got
got
it.
how
it.
deep the something went. And for the people who keep asking,
Arena football ain't paying, baby.
Yeah.
Girl, nigga, he ain't got it. Nigga.
But
He trying to hold something from you. Shit.
Taco's got
You
a point that I
remember?
was going to say that
Oh yeah,
that
it's emotional abuse.
manipulation is a form
Oh
of abuse.
yeah. Yeah, no, no,
It's
no.
just
Let's
not,
not
but
run
it's
over
not.
that.
I know what you were saying, though. I get what you were
What
saying.
I'm
Like
saying
she was
is
rationalizing it that he wasn't at least like
it
being
Right.
physical. So look, if it's not, some people don't even think of manipulation as a form of abuse. So she didn't even look at it that way.
yeah,
Right.
I'm not saying that manipulation and lying and stuff like that is not abuse. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it could have been a worse abuse,
It could have been
which is
double
weird.
abuse.
It's wild to say like there's tiers of abuse. Abuse is abuse. But if you want to
Mhm.
break
No,
it
it's
down
almost
to the
abuse.
nitty-gritty, you know,
Mhm.
it wasn't that physical, and stuff like that. So
And a
it,
lot of people do rationalize it
and
that
people
way.
definitely rationalize, they will overlook emotional financial
Yeah.
abuse for the fact that they are not getting hands laid upon them.
Ain't getting hitting on. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. I've had many of friends that are like, I'm like, yo, he don't like you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? She's like, girl,
No.
no, he just
Yes.
act like that. He don't put his hands on me like so and so. It's like, girl, listen, get
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a wild
And Taco,
realization
he
too.
could, yeah, he could have been beating and manipulating her. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
asking, I'm going in order of events. So, yes, there will be a video where I explain how everything came out and what came out,
Uh oh.
what was true, what was not true. It's coming. I'm just getting all of this out in order. So I told him I didn't want to look at a house no more.
100%.
I didn't want to talk
Bro.
about houses. Do not mention the word Zillow. Do not mention the word realtor. Nothing. Let me just get through the holidays. And for myself, the question was, what do you want to do? You want to stay with him? or do you want to cut your losses?
Sunken cost
And the
fallacy.
part that kept me constantly
What happened?
I said the sunk cost fallacy. Do you want to stay with him, or do you want to just like, well, I put so much time into this. Why would I get away
Mhm.
from it? No,
Mm,
because you're losing already. You upside down emotionally. So you
right.
know you gonna stay in it.
And
You
by this
lost.
Stay
point, she
safe.
had already lost her baby. So,
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's like I don't understand too what you trying to save face for. Like I'd rather lose 1 year than lose 5 years or ten
mhm.
years. Like because the end result is always is gonna be what it's gonna be. You're just prolonging it. Like
yeah,
so
you just
why
dragging
even do
it
that
out.
and waste more time? I'm not wasting the little bit of my youth that I have left, and I use that very loosely. The on someone that is just wasting my time. That doesn't make sense.
second guessing myself was, what if he's not lying?
What?
What if he's not lying? There's no, literally, the conversation I had with myself was, there's no way he is lying about having money. You saw the paper from Chase. They don't just approve $750,000 for a mortgage for
God
anybody.
damn.
That Chase paperwork is working harder than him. Like that Chase
That motherfucking
paperwork, he
Chase
has used
paperwork,
that.
boy. Chase is gonna hear this shit and sue his ass.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you getting
Yeah.
houses on our name and shit.
But that also goes to show, seeing we're in a digital world now.
Mm,
Everything is screenshotted, it's emailed, everything
Hmm.
is in a picture form. So I can understand her not rationally being like, "Can you log into your account? Let me see you log into your account," type thing.
right.
But
You
see,
Mm,
like, even if it's not a trust issue, because like I'm in the same boat. Like I'm gonna be looking for a house in the next couple months, right?
Mhm.
So if we go on like a website that's anything related to that shit, if I was to show my wife a piece of paper that has a status of something on it, she would be like, "Let's find out the latest status of that thing by
Yeah.
going to the live website, logging the
Yeah.
fuck in, and checking it out right now." She
Yeah.
has not at any point asked to see anything live. She is taking everything on a snapshot basis.
Yeah, and that's
So
wild to me because
yeah.
that's
I'm
what I'm saying.
I'm a
It's too
person that's
digital.
like, yeah, what's your login account? Let me go grab this
Yeah,
paperwork real quick.
fuck
Okay,
that.
well, let me see you do it and print it out right now,
Show
type
me
of
what's
thing.
your
Like,
robo form.
yeah,
Yeah. I especially after you're 8 houses in or 10 houses or
20
Yeah,
houses
however.
in, you're
and
20
the
houses
realtor's
in.
like, I'm not working with y'all anymore
So
because you're not
Right.
what?
even showing me money.
You gonna have to show some receipts,
Just show the
literally.
Chase paperwork off.
Yeah. And
Like
then I
it's
would also
crazy.
be questioning why you went from the mortgage approach to now cash offers. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we
Right.
doing that? Why didn't we just go with the mortgage?
Hey,
You
I
know,
just
the,
had a visual. I just had a visual real quick before you start and pause it. What
Mhm.
if he got the same Chase paperwork folded up in his wallet? It's got creases on it. It's all old. It's got like a grease stain from when he spilled a piece of chicken on it 2 weeks ago. There's some
Been using
spaghetti
that
sauce on the
same
side.
Chase
It's
paperwork
that
for
same
Shaking
piece.
it
He's not
8
out.
even printing
years.
out new forms. He's just using that same ass form.
He's shaking the crumbs off of it. Look, look,
Yeah,
look.
like look. Remember
I
the
got
Chase
this.
paperwork?
I got this here Chase paperwork for you. He flapping it. Yeah,
You hit her with the flat move, like, aha.
surprise, bitch.
Oh, 40
Wallet
plus like say he
condo.
showed the chase paperwork on his channel and wait, where'd it go?
Did he
It
flash it
was
like a
garbage.
badge? Was he like, this is the paperwork, see? It's all super fast and shit. You can't get none of it. She's like, slow down, stop moving the paper. Girl, it says what it says. I'm done.
You read it. I read it. We all read it.
This is confidential information. I can't just be having this out of my pocket.
Don't you
I'm
see
not
the
gonna have my
logo?
personal address on here. What?
Yeah. Somebody could be looking through the window.
But you blocked out your name too. Come on, man.
40 plus okay, so 40 plus like said it was garbage. The run on sentences and the formatting was bad.
Hell
Okay.
no. your bank account is positive, and we also checked on the other thing to make sure that the money came through, and we also made sure that your savings account was on point, and like it's all one big ass sentence. This shit,
Comma, colon, semicolon.
semicolon. Ooh, I know how to use a semicolon.
At the end of the day, bottom of the line, you good, fam.
Bottom line.
We're gonna give you 700K. Don't even trip.
Oh my
Like what?
God.
Don't even trip. That's what they say on the paperwork. We
Dear,
got you. We got
dear
you, fam.
homie, dear Sam, uh, we heard you need a little bit of change for this house pimping. We got you on that. Just call 1-888-888-8888.
Right.
Fuck out
Oh
of here.
my god.
Um, you see, I've seen his checking account. You see how much money's in his available checking. Like you I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's lying about that. But what is it? Is it that he doesn't trust me? Like I second guess myself so much. Is it that he doesn't trust me? Is it that maybe he doesn't really want to get married? Like what is
Man,
it?
he got her down there
Because
strong. He's
I
good.
know what I saw. I know what I heard. I know that he's having conversations about move the money from this account to that account. Um, I know he's paying my car note and all these bills. Like clearly, this man is making money. I know that I saw the promotional the letter from HR that states his new salary is 200 and something thousand. Um, and I remember thinking, like, God, what what am I missing? I'm
Everything.
missing something.
Everything
But
right.
what is it? Because I know what I've seen. I know what I have touched. I have physically touched these papers. Like I know how to read. So what is it that I am missing? He's close to his family. He talks to them all the time. You know, he's just a regular guy that just likes to watch NFL football. He leaves me
Wait,
alone when I
wait.
want to
She
watch
knows what the
Georgia
NFL
football.
is.
But she don't know what the arena football is.
She ain't never heard of arena football though. She thought that arena football was just as viable a product as the NFL.
Probably, yeah.
And I can understand it driving her crazy because the paperwork that he probably showed us online may not be the same paperwork he showed her.
Right.
And from my
She might have
knowledge,
tried
I
to
think
bump it
she
up.
was some you stupid. I think she was some somewhat in the law enforcement. I don't know how she missed it. Because I
Wait,
guess
she's in law enforcement, detective.
she's not like a
How did
detective
you
or
miss
anything, but I
this?
think she just works in the departments. Like she works in the law enforcement
Oh,
department.
like you're in the office or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Because I
that
think
would
at
be a
some point she
twist.
does a background check and she talks about it. But yeah, it's and I think all of this is kind of how she gets to her last straw too. Like I need to do some deeper digging because I've seen these things, I've looked at these things, and
Hmm.
if you don't really know what you're looking at, yeah, you're gonna take it for face value. And I am
Yeah.
assuming that this paperwork didn't have that many run-on sentences when he showed her initially. You know what I mean? So
It,
I don't know. It's it's
it
it's
better
pretty
not
wild.
have because can
Grammar
you?
might not be her strong point. Just saying.
Grammar may not
That's
be her
true.
thing.
That's
Like,
true. It ain't mine. So I probably would have read them run-on sentences like, "We in the money, baby." So
you
we
look
Yo,
good.
cut out.
if he would have came, if it was me and he would have came with a bunch of
Look
math
good to
shit,
me.
showing me how it broke down, I'd have been like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, that makes total sense." With the big
Right.
question mark going over my head, like,
You know
"Woo!"
what it is? 2 plus 2 is 5, 6, and 7. I know you.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Right. You solve for X. Absolutely. I know exactly what you're
Looks
talking about, bro.
legit to
Pythagorean
me.
theorem, you know.
Right.
Pythagorean theorem.
Like if you go through the isosceles triangle, like just start pointing
Man,
out
that
shit, just saying random
isosceles, woo, that tangent.
Um, you know, he's paying the bills, groceries. I haven't had to worry financially since I've met him. And as a woman who had lived on her own, paying her own bills, my God, that is the most intoxicating feeling when you meet a guy who just takes your stress and your worry away financially.
But he
Absolute
But
didn't
fact.
don't.
though. But he didn't though. And I think that's the funny part about this is like he
Yeah,
did in one way, right? By paying the bills and stuff like that. But then he added a whole other stress on her
he was
by
playing the
making her
long
think
game.
that right, that there was these other opportunities that just weren't there when
Yeah.
he could have just did that. They could have lived together in her little in her townhouse in the hood, wherever the
Girl, he
hell,
could have
because she
kept
said it
paying
wasn't
that.
good.
She could have
But
kept
the
paying that little money that he was paying, honey, and she could have been in bliss.
Yeah,
But the
exactly.
smartest con man is willing to lose a few hands to you in the beginning because he
Hmm.
knows it will get you
Hmm.
confident and be like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
got this," and then
that's true.
boom, you'll lay all your shit out there, and then he
Yep.
just take it all back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
and he not only is he gonna make that back, he's gonna make the extra, but he's also gonna make back what he spent in the beginning anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Hmm.
what this guy's end game is. If he was trying to play her for money or just his currency is relationship
Well, I don't
status or some shit.
I don't think he was playing her for money because she wasn't
Yeah, I
giving
don't
up
think so
anything.
either.
She wasn't giving up anything, you know.
Right.
I
Well, I
think
mean,
he was
I was
more
hoping
so
maybe
playing
that,
on her emotions
yeah, like he's an
and
emotional gambler.
yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I think that's the hardest part for me with the whole story is like
The why,
wondering, right? Like,
Hmm.
what is he getting out of it? Like, what is
Hmm.
his currency? Like,
but that's what
how
I'm
is
saying.
he?
Maybe it's a
Yeah,
relationship thing. Like maybe fucking
maybe.
Yeah,
women over.
fact.
It's a lot of dudes that hate women, like hate
It's
women
true.
in
Yeah,
general.
Look
that's
at
true.
look at the red
And
pill society,
yeah, the red pills,
Right.
the
the
incels, the nice
incels,
guys, like all that shit
your
is
fresh and fits.
whether they realize it at first or not is all woman hating shit. Like
Yeah,
they try
Yes.
to say, "Oh, you know,
we're
I
doing it
want
for
to
the
treat women
men.
like a queen and all that shit." In reality, they want women to be like subservient.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I seen that shit myself
It's
plenty
that
of times.
whole fresh and fit, what's
Oh
that
God,
title?
Abba and Preach, all the
Well, I
motherfuckers.
don't think well, Abba and Preach are definitely not a part of the red pill, so I wouldn't put them in that category
No,
What's
not red
at
Preach
pill,
all.
done?
but they've said some pretty misogynistic shit.
They've said some things before, but they're
Yeah.
more so against your fresh and fits and your
Yeah, true, you true.
Yes.
And that,
Yes.
I shouldn't put them
pretty
in the
curly,
same.
whatever her name is,
Oh
Just
the
yeah,
white
Pearly.
Pearly.
chick, pearly
Oh God,
thing,
just Pearly. She's a
and Tate, Andrew Tate,
oh
and
God,
Hmm.
Cinco and
he's
all
the
of them.
king of assholes. Yeah,
Oh my
you're right.
God,
You're right.
trickle
Abba and
down.
Preach are not the same.
Well, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. There's definitely you got your clowns of it, and then you got your ones that seem appear to be more realistic. But as you as they talk about certain topics, you're like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah,
And then you got those ones that are just, you know, I mean, so far. I guess it's a spectrum with the whole red pill thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is at the base of it is just woman hating. Like
yeah.
in my opinion, like
Yeah, it's the
The
same
downside is
movement as
okay,
it's the same movement as the niggas ain't shit movement. I mean, it's you
the
know,
Yeah,
so,
divestment, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the divestment community. I've never really gotten into that, but BGL has definitely sent me some shit. Man, them ladies are wild.
wow.
Oh, he's a pathological liar. Da 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 da. That's what it was.
Yes, she
Look at what
says not to
BGL
be
said. This.
confused with a compulsive liar.
Yeah, yeah. Compulsive liars can't help themselves.
Hmm.
Pathological liars want to do it.
Yes,
They want to show people the
mm,
ugly, the beautiful lie instead of the
and
ugly
you'll
truth.
see what he's modeling his lies after the
Yo, that's a
further you get
bar.
into the story. Well, you better write
okay.
it down, put it on the
I
album.
gotta write that shit down. Beautiful lie in the ugly truth.
Tanya said he was seeking security. He couldn't hold down the job. Well, yeah, it also did look like he needed a place to live. So even though he was able to afford the bills, he
Right.
wasn't able to. He wasn't able to afford. I mean, what he was in the studio or some shit like that.
That's why he was
Um,
able to afford it because he didn't have a place to stay. He didn't have anywhere to go,
that
so
would
he
have been
had
a
to
real
pay
test
rent.
if he had
Yeah,
his own spot and paying it. This guy's family says he's been a liar from childhood, though. I think he's a liar for the sake of lying. I think he lies to everyone in life, not just women. Okay,
yeah.
all right, so he's
Yes,
just
he
lying to
does.
everybody.
Everybody's known somebody like that.
That comes out further down the line.
We all
Ah,
know somebody
okay.
like that, right?
We're still super early in the story, but
Yes.
around I want to say around the 30s maybe,
Hmm.
shit starts to get into the back end of all of the reveals and stuff like that. But
Damn,
right
that's a
now
minute.
she's just setting up everything as it happened, and
Uh huh. Then she'll knock them all down.
then she's gonna knock it all down. Yeah.
It's a lot of content.
It is
It is.
he
Jesus.
took away the stress and the worry financially away and instead brought a mental fuck job
There
I've
you go.
never in
Hmm.
my life had experienced. And I could not put my finger on it. I couldn't
Damn,
really talk to anybody about it because I'm a big believer in what happens at home stays at home.
that's
So
a
I didn't
problem.
talk to my girlfriends about
Yeah.
it. I didn't talk to my family about it. But I just remember being like, what am I missing?
Hmm.
What am I missing?
That's crazy that
Um,
he was so good that
so
she
we
was
did
able to be
not
like
talk about how
second guessing herself
Hmm.
and shit, and that she
Hmm.
was like the fact that she knew something was wrong, but just like I can't see, I can't put my finger on it. This motherfucker is
Hmm.
waving the flag in her face like, hey,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
houses. We did not look at cars. We didn't do any of that for November, December. And he came to me like around Thanksgiving, and what I thought was a very open, loving conversation. And in that conversation, he was like, okay, I know I have fucked up. I know that things are not feeling too strong right now. He was like, I want us to get married. I want a
damn.
home. Um, I will show you whatever you need to see to put you at ease. Um,
You got a new chase
he
letter.
was very like contrite. He was very just like, what do I need to do to put your mind at ease so that you know I'm in this and that I want this and that I love you and I want you to be my wife. Um, so I was like, show me your accounts. He showed me his checking. He showed me he showed me one of his savings. He showed me a Chase savings. Um,
Fucking chase.
he did
Goddamn
not show
shit.
me the offshore, and
Because
he
he
did
ain't
not
got
show me
one.
the U.S. bank.
Right.
Right.
So he showed me those two accounts, checking and Chase savings. So I knew that there was money. What I saw in those accounts, there was money. I told him, I was like, if we're going to buy a house, I want it to be through the mortgage on Chase. I don't want to deal with this proof of funds shit no more. I said, I
He
do
is
not
committing
want to look at
fraud
another
though.
house
He's
until the
committing the
beginning
shit
of
out of some
of
fraud.
the new year.
Hmm.
He said, okay. That is when we then had a conversation. So I guess I lied because we are going to have a part 15 or 16 tonight. But that is when we then had the discussion about marriage. And that is where religion came into play. Um,
Oh
Oh
shit.
no.
He hit it with the God body.
yeah, I'll give y'all the other part tonight.
Oh Lord.
Stand by.
You know what? I don't care what people believe in, whether you believe in God or you don't.
Yeah.
Please do not throw religion into anything involved. Like, I feel like it should be more of a personal thing,
Yeah.
Yep.
because
Keep
a
that shit
lot
to
of people
yourself
are going to use religion and for
as a
for
weapon.
manipulation.
Yeah.
Now, if
Hmm.
we're in a relationship and a religion is our thing, and that's something that we both practice and we talk about it, and it's a mutual, and you're not using it for manipulation,
But it's
fine.
still private.
But it's still, but I mean, that's still private between the two of you. But I'm saying, like, if that's something, it's kind of like the thing we talked about yesterday with the porn and all
Hmm.
that stuff, like watching in the OnlyFans and stuff.
Yeah.
If that's something you and your partner agree on,
Then it's
and
fine.
you
Yeah.
go to church and all this stuff, that's fine. But the moment you use it for any kind of manipulation or any form of
Dishonesty.
tactic
Yeah.
besides using it for quote unquote faith, that's an
Hmm.
issue. It's an issue.
Yeah.
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 I'm an
And it
atheist and I
definitely
agree
is
with everything
personal.
you just said.
And I understand why people are atheists. Like, I believe in God. I don't go to church. I don't follow organized religion, but I believe in some form of entity or whatever, but that's my own personal thing. but I
Mhm.
do not believe in what they do with religion and how they use it as a form of. I don't believe that preachers. You know what? Let me not get into this shit because I'm about to get
Right.
upset.
It's getting
On
deep in
how they,
here.
well,
Can I
no,
get
man,
an
Yeah,
amen?
I just cannot
manipulating with
stand.
religion.
Yes,
Yeah,
I cannot
yeah.
Yeah.
stand
No, I
how
feel you.
religion, regardless of how you use it, is used for manipulation tactics. You
Mhm.
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care if
I
you
agree.
believe in a goddamn broom or whatever, or you just
Right.
Hmm.
believe in science, because that's fine too, because science is a real thing, y'all. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
It's
out
Right.
there.
it's
You
physical.
sitting on
You,
it.
you can you sitting on it,
You on the
so
computer right now
you
complaining about
can't
how it
just
ain't
be
Sometimes.
real.
like, God, no science. Science is, get
Right. Science is bullshit.
yeah,
Enter on my
Shit.
computer through the internet.
okay. And if I put baking soda in some goddamn vinegar, that ain't gonna have a
Yeah.
reaction. But all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
cool.
Put some bleach and
Right.
some ammonia together and I'll show you
And
what
see what
science can do.
right.
Sit
And
in
I'll
the
show
Right.
empty
your ass
room for a
passing out
minute.
on the floor. Okay,
Right.
let God
Like
get you up from that.
you pass out. Science.
I mean, it's
Hello.
like believe in God all you want, but sometimes like science can pick up the slack where God can't. You know what I mean? Like people be acting like
Ooh,
like you can
Okay.
believe in it all you want,
you
if
just
you
but
said
want
the
to if you
words though.
want
You
to be
said
if
God
you want to
can't.
be spiritual with it, even with religious people, it's like, yeah, okay, so all right, so you
right
don't believe in science, so you don't believe that God put people down on his earth
to
to be
understand
doctors,
this.
to understand
Right.
science. If he
Hmm.
Right.
created the earth, you don't think he created the earth with science? Like, come
Yeah.
on,
Right.
man.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Let's be
Exactly.
realistic. You can't say one thing doesn't exist but the other does. It's like, this is a mythical being, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Like,
Right.
I've never seen God. So I'm going off of
Right.
just
Show me some shit I can see.
faith.
Experience.
You know what
Hmm.
I'm
Thought.
saying? But
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
Oh, so now he's okay. So now he's gonna introduce religion into this.
Yes. Sorry.
This guy. No, no, no. No, it's okay. Like, because I feel the
Yeah.
same
Bank
way
of
in a sense.
America.
I feel the same way when it comes to like religion. Like, I'm not an atheist per se. I'm more agnostic, but I grew up Muslim. My family has a Catholic background, and Christian background, and
Girl, Southern
so I
Baptist
just
over
kind
here.
of,
So
yeah, I just
Jesus
Mm.
kind of
Christ.
believe that there's something, but I don't, or I don't know. Let me put it like that. But I would like to believe that there is, because I would like to believe that there's a heaven.
If I can
That's really
believe that there's a possibility that aliens exist, I can believe that there's a heaven and a hell.
exactly
I'm sorry.
right. That's
We
really
got
it
to
for
have a
me.
conversation about that, Nova. I want to not like for real. We should have a conversation about that because about the agnostic and the atheist thing. I'm talking about
Yeah.
not right now,
Oh
but
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
in general later.
definitely.
That's an interesting conversation. I always want to ask people when they say they're not atheist but are agnostic.
Uh huh.
It's because it's a very complicated whole like
Oh yeah,
situation. So
and it's like very, yeah, yeah. We can definitely have that conversation.
Yes, Taylor.
I've
Yes,
had it
Mala
with Mrs.
Mala.
Parker. It's really good. Who's on the board? Thank you for the super prayer. I got Bank of America letterhead says I got bands. Oh damn! Thank you,
no,
super. Thank you, who's
I got Bank of America letterhead.
Bank
Bank
of
of
America.
Says America.
Oh, I would love a more in depth stream on this topic with you all. Yeah, I'm down. We could set something up
I
because
Oh
do
we
yeah.
not
also
talk
got
about religion, so I will not be there.
I
we
do. I can hold my own there for the most part, and I
Well,
can keep it un.
I don't quote the Bible because I don't know it. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
my religion base is solely off of just my own mindset. I
Yeah,
don't like organized church because I
Yeah,
feel
that
I
shit's
had
a
an
racket.
instance as a child with someone who went to church. It wasn't even at church, but that kind of scarred me from that stuff. So I don't really talk about it. It's just kind of like, whatever you believe in, that's great,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But shit,
I
believe in
feel
something. I don't care if it's science. Believe in something.
I feel like I'm at the point where
That's true.
I've accepted what I've accepted, and I can have a dispassionate, factual conversation with just about
Yeah,
anybody, without
Mhm.
going off the rails. Like, how could you not? How could you believe something so absurd, or anything like that? I'll question the shit, till no end, and I'll accept that some people have some interesting answers to things, but
for
I've never
sure.
had a
Yeah,
satisfying answer. I can say
yeah.
that.
Right.
Well, I'm not sitting here. I'm not a person that can prove to you either way. So I don't even argue
Right.
about it or talk about it because I'm not deep into religion enough to be like, well, the Bible says the Bible was written by men. The Bible
Right.
are a book of
Right.
stories. Stories can be fabricated, manipulated when passed down through centuries, and we're talking centuries here.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
It is what it is. They also said that Jesus laid down with Mary. So, hey, there's
Right.
a lot going on in that Bible that I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Who the fuck did I marry?
Uh oh.
So in December of
That is a
2020,
low one.
around beginning of
it
December,
is.
we had a conversation, kind of a come to Jesus heart to heart conversation. And both of us had grown up in the church, and the fact that we were not married but living together, the fact
Mm.
that almost had a baby
Mm.
together, um, bothered both of us. Both of our families, my family and his family, um, were very adamant. Like, okay, y'all either need to get married or y'all need to separate. Um, and so I'm walking around with a ring on, which I'll post a picture of the ring because God, there's so much to unpack. But anyway, walking around with the ring, and so he said to me,
I'll be right back.
"Whatever I
All
need
right.
to do my part to make this work, I'm willing to do." At the same time, it wasn't that I did not trust him as much as it was I felt like I wasn't trusting myself. Because, again, like I said in the previous video, I know what I saw, I know what I read, I know what I've heard. Um, but fuck, something was not sitting right with me. And every time I would question it in my head, the other side of me was like, okay, you know he ain't lying about the money because you saw it.
Mm.
So you know he ain't lying. Girl, are you that? Like, I remember saying to myself, are you that jaded that you don't even know what it's like to have a decent man? Yes, I really had the audacity to have that thought. So we
Mm.
agreed beginning of December, like, we wanted to be together. I believe I loved him. I believed he loved me. So the decision was made that we were going to
That's
get
that new
married.
love. When love is new,
Hope it.
Mm-hmm.
when love is new, man, you'll fall for anything. When love is new,
Yeah.
you gotta wait for that 3 year in love. That's when you can start making
Mm.
some rational judgments. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. And I was like, I always look at it like you have to like not romanticize things. Like that's a huge thing for me. Like not romanticizing um uh things that have to do with like real life decisions. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's nice to go buy a house together. Yeah, it's nice to be planning for your future in that way. Looking for a car, buying a house, all that good shit. All that is dope, but
Mhm.
it shouldn't be romanticized because once you do
No.
that, you're gonna miss all the important stuff. Like it's romantic once you get in the house. It's romantic once buying the furniture
Yep.
and all that shit is romantic. Buying a house isn't because that can affect you for the rest of your life.
Listen, and buying
And
a
so,
house is stressful as hell. So I don't know
right,
what's romantic about buying a house after buying one. That shit is trash. Okay?
right, right. Like that's a huge commitment to making, and you're making this with this person. And if for whatever
That you
reason
don't
y'all
know.
don't, right, if y'all don't work out, what happens now? Now you gotta deal with selling it. Now you gotta deal with where the money goes. Now you gotta deal with all these other things. So,
Right.
yeah, like those important life decisions should not be romanticized, and I think people do that, and I get why they do it. Because like from young, we're taught about this like fairy tale ending that we should all strive for, and they even trying to bring that back with like the whole red pill shit and all that, like trying to bring back the idealized version of what a life should be as an adult
Right.
or as a woman. So I understand the desire, but you gotta be smarter than that.
Gotta be smart. You gotta be smart.
Like
You can't just rush into because and people, I don't know how people don't realize how big of a financial burden a house is. Because if you lose the house, then you still
right,
gotta pay certain things on the house. If you can't, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
right.
Like
It's a
having
lot.
kids. Kids are a huge financial burden. Yeah, they're cute, they're great, but
but they cost
They
money.
cost
Right.
money.
And that's another thing, right? That people romanticize the baby shower, romanticize now the gender
Yeah,
reveal
fuck that.
parties are a big thing.
Girl, I wish
All,
people
all
and
of that,
women especially would talk about how trash having a child is. Like that shit is
right?
trash.
Right?
That
I
shit is
told my
trash.
kid, I
It's
told
not
all three
fun.
of my kids, like, look, everybody does it. People think it's like, what is that word I'm thinking of? Uh, People think it's a given that you should just get
Mm,
married to have kids.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's a fucking. People say, oh, it's 18-year commitment. No, that's a lifetime commitment.
It's a
Once
lifetime.
you
lifetime
have
commitment.
kids, that's you have kids for the rest of your
Listen, I
life
depended on
or
my
for the rest
parents
of
all through
theirs.
my 20s, okay? And
Right?
then when I got
Yeah.
sick at age like 32, 33, my parents had to sit in the hospital with me for 2 months, not
Yeah.
knowing if
Mm,
I was gonna come out that hospital. So, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
mm,
man.
lifetime commitment. You're with your kids until the day you die, hopefully before that.
Noir.
right.
Pregnant.
Pregnancy is
It
gross as
is.
fuck.
It's
It
very
is.
much
It
so.
absolutely is.
You
It's
know
a
what I'm
very
saying?
gross
And then
thing.
these motherfuckers want you to get up minutes after you give birth.
Yes. Look, you got one foot on a banana
Look,
peel and the other in the
For real.
grave.
Then
And
you
if
gotta
you're
take it.
and if you're a black woman, that banana you got two banana peels
you
according
just
to the
skating
the
on banana
US
peels.
health
For
like
real.
like that shit is wild. So it's
It's
like
horrible. And then your
yes.
kids grow up and then they develop personalities that you may not like.
Yeah,
Okay?
Yeah.
exactly. People
You
think
may
that's
not.
a crazy thing. I remember my little brother and my daughter has both said this. They were like, "Oh, when I get kids, they're gonna do this and they're gonna be this way, and I'm gonna have them shaped up
No,
and this and this." And that." I'm like, "You think that?
you
You
think that.
may
Right.
try that, but short of beating the shit out of them to make them fear you."
Yep.
And make them do
Mm-mm.
everything you want. They're going to have their own personalities.
They're gonna
They're going
do
to
it.
Yes.
develop
Yep.
their own thought processes and
Yep.
they're also going to come up with their own opinions on shit and is probably not going to match your shit because half the time like my daughter, it's so funny, my oldest daughter was like she rebelled against a bunch of shit that was like the kind of shit that I was into. Like she don't
Mm.
Mm,
listen to rap music because that's what she heard a lot of when she was growing up. So
mm,
some people here like
Yeah.
are surrounded by something and become enamored and immersed in
right.
it, and other
And
people
some people don't
become
want no part of
repulsed
it.
by it because
Yeah.
it's like I
Yes.
was forced to touch it or deal with it. Touch it, fucking
Yeah.
that's fucked up. I was forced to deal with it or
Mm,
experience it in some way too much, and now it's an overload for me. So
Mhm.
right.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. It's hard, man. Kids are trash.
Axel.
yeah, I've
Axel.
been a parent for like 27 years, man. Yeah, they are harder as adults
Yes,
because
they
then they
are.
got all. It's like that thing, that person you wanted them to be or imagined that they would be. They are almost never that person.
Man, I know I was a
Right.
burden on my parents, bro. I needed rent money every month. You heard me? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
my daughter's 21 and
Yeah.
still lives with us. That's how it is, man. She's
that's how
just
it is.
Yeah.
it's
But
she
you
just
I
gonna
don't
has
love it
know.
this.
when you gonna take care of them though. Like,
Right.
regardless of all
Right,
Exactly.
yeah. No matter how much you fuck up, well, to a degree.
I find that now. Well, I'm in the teenage phase. My kid is about to be 15, so he's at that place where he is learning to assert himself and gain his independence and
yeah,
do things on his own. So now I'm at that point where I'm like, I want to give him the opportunity to do that without giving him too much, because
yeah.
there's obviously now we also have the conversation of sex and all that shit coming up. So
Oh
it's a
man.
scary time. Like the teenage years are scary, but I feel like I'm the type of mother that's better built for the teenage years than I was for the baby years. Like I just worked my ass off when he was a baby, and I kind of did that right, I guess. But like I feel like I can connect with him better as a teenager because I'm open with him. I'm like he could talk to me about whatever.
And see,
But
I am not that
yeah,
mom. That makes me very uncomfortable. You better go talk to your
yeah.
daddy because I ain't got the conversation.
Yeah,
Look,
see,
Hey,
I'm
I'm
having
like,
that
you're not gonna
conversation
bring me
every
home a
time.
grandbaby. Like I'm
no,
not about
and
to
Exactly.
be
that's
a grandmother
listen,
at
I
40.
am so glad that I have his dad to have those conversations
Yeah.
because I know
Mhm.
when I was a kid, I didn't really get those conversations. So
Yeah.
it's always been an uncomfortable thing for me to talk about. So that's just
Yeah.
from where I come from. But
I feel you.
their
I feel
dad
you.
are very, he's 13 now. He's gonna be 14 this year. His dad is very open and honest about everything. So
I'm the
Yeah.
same way. My son is 12, and we started having that conversation. We had like a 20-minute conversation just this year. And the wildest part about being a parent, the hardest part, I think, is balancing the idea or the ability to keep them out of trouble, but also let them make their own
let
mistakes.
them
But
make mistakes.
but
Exactly.
but,
Yes.
but the fucked up, the hardest part is like they can make it. One mistake can cost you a whole lot. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm always trying to tell my son, like, give him advice and shit. And they always look at me like, "Oh, Dad's giving another lecture," and I'm like, "Yo." You think lectures suck, but you know what sucks worse? Having to figure out life by yourself because
For
nobody
real.
told you shit, like how
Because
I
ain't
had to
nobody
do
Hmm.
helping.
life when I grew up. I was
Yeah.
like, so
Right.
you gonna take this lecture? You gonna take
You
this lecture?
gotta take
You know,
who's
and
on the
years down the line,
yeah.
you're gonna be quoting the same thing that your parents said, man.
And you're
Now I
gonna appreciate
understand.
Yeah.
that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself sounding like my mom all the time, or my
All the
dad. Like
time.
either one of them, depending on the situation. Who's on the board? Thank you for the super prayer. Nova going Fight Club, her place Scraps or Junior. Yeah, he look this kid. But you know what? I'm fortunate enough that he has he's a very good kid, like very even tempered like me. Like so he doesn't have his father's temper, thank the Lord. But he does have his father's ego in a way, which is I think works sometimes,
Mhm.
but yeah, finding that I think that's also I don't know if y'all can I'm sure y'all can relate to this, but seeing qualities in your kid that you did not like in their parent. Do you come across that issue? Like when you see your kid have this quality that when exhibited by their parent, by the other parent, you're like, God, fucking God.
Oh yeah.
Like you know like, that's
Everybody
hard.
does
That's
that.
hard
Yeah.
to deal with. Like,
Listen, our 3-year-old is exactly like the two of us, and sometimes I'm like, if you, oh my God,
And
help
he
me, Jesus.
looks and he looks like his dad too, so
He
that makes it
looks
worse
like
because I'm
I
sure he
just
does shit
carried
that
this
makes
for
him.
man. It is wild, ain't it? You've seen him. It's
Hmm.
crazy. This little boy, and now he's starting to tinker with the music and the pianos and all that
Oh
stuff with his
no,
dad.
it's over.
Taylor Noir, not the substitute Miss Parker. I'm gonna come in this chat and I'm gonna get you. Okay. I am not 4'5". All right. I am a solid
Damn.
5'2". All right. You will respect me as the tall person that I am. I can reach the Apple Jacks on the shelf. Okay. Can Miss
No
Parker say
ladder
the same?
needed.
Okay. Can Miss Parker say the same? I don't think so.
I think not.
So we had to follow a certain protocol.
She felt
So
attacked.
we filed our marriage license in Fayette County, Georgia, because I you could not get an appointment in Clayton County to save your life. So we filed the marriage license in Fayette County. On our marriage license, it asked the number of previous marriages. He said one. I had
This nigga
zero.
said 6.
It asked for our social security numbers.
Oh.
He put
He
his social
put
security number
he
down.
put
I
one, two,
put
three,
my
four,
social
five, six,
security.
7.
I mentally wrote down his social security number and I did a background check. I did a background check after I had filed a marriage license.
That is
Yes,
wild.
I know, but I did. The background check, nothing came back. It was like no results found. I did a criminal
This nigga did
background
not have
check,
a
nothing came
background.
back.
Like,
So
it was a fake security number. But like it's like
Where my
I
red
understand.
flag at?
I'm
It said file not found.
error.
Doo, 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 doo. This the person you're trying to find does
That
not
shit,
exist.
it made the computer just blue screen. It was like, what? Error.
So I thought one of two things. Either I had the wrong social, meaning I wrote down the wrong social, or my paranoia was unfounded. There's nothing wrong with him because
No, that's
he
the
has been.
problem is that you was
Those are
waiting
the only
for a
two
background
options?
check. Right. Like you was waiting for a background check to tell you something wasn't right with him. Just because he doesn't have a record doesn't mean something ain't right with him.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
he just don't have a record. Like that doesn't mean that
404 Social Security not found.
doesn't mean emotionally he's not abusive. It doesn't mean financially he's not abusive. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that he don't have a record. Like That is where discernment has to, Oh, is
Like,
that what it's called? Discernment?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And always throughout the relationship, a big stickler about law enforcement,
What's up, Zena?
following the law, because his dad was a retired police officer. So this is someone who's been this is a guy who would check to make sure my tail lights were working, make sure my signals were working, make sure my oil was good, make sure I had enough gas in the car. So when the criminal history came back with no results, I was like, well, of course there isn't,
I believe
because
this is
the
called
man
the
probably
lover
hasn't
boy
had so
method.
much as a speeding ticket. So felt we filed the marriage license, and then we made an appointment to get married and waiting for the judge to come out of chambers so that she could marry us. And the reason why I'm pausing is because, my God, if I could go back and see that young woman sitting in that lobby, wow. I know we can't go back in time, but damn, if I could go back in time, I would. Immediately, I didn't tell anyone I was getting married because I was afraid that we had tried before in September and something came up. So I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want anyone's hopes
Oh
up.
my
Nothing
God.
works out
Jesus.
for this guy.
I know that's bad, but again,
God
said I would
damn.
be honest even if it's ugly. I told my mom, my family that we got married, told my friends, they could not believe it. Like my mother was relieved, but she had no idea
They're like, oh,
about
sweet Jesus.
what was going on. My aunt was more like, really?
Mhm.
You married him? My friend, the one who took me to the hospital for the miscarriage, was like, I wish you would have told me, like, you deserve to have people there, take pictures and celebrate and all this other stuff. Um,
That's also a thing. Like,
and
if
she
you found yourself not wanting to have your family around, right? Or like not wanting to tell, maybe not your family, but like friends or whoever's closest to you, and you don't want them around for a moment like that, that
That in
has to
itself is a
scream
red
the
flag.
loudest, right,
Yeah.
to you. Right, exactly. Absolutely. Hey Nova and what's up, Stella? Hey Nova and Pano, I've been lurking from work. I think her biggest problem was that she justified all the flags because he took care of the bills. Still that house that he lied about. But yeah, exactly. Thank you, Stella. Yeah, like that to me would have spoke the loudest. If nothing else worked, the fact that I didn't want the people closest to me there would have been like, okay, something not right. Something not right.
The train agrees with you. But yes, I
Yes.
definitely agree. She didn't want her family and friends to be like, "You stupid. Like,
Hmm.
you're dumb as do not do this. Do
Right.
not do this." And they all of the she knew that all of them would have been against it, which is why she never said one word about everything that was going on,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know.
she was like, she's the type of friend, if you like it, I love it. You rock with him, I rock with him. The moment you don't, I don't either. So she was supportive. My other girlfriends were happy for me. They just hated that I had to get married during COVID. Because they were like, we would have loved to have, you know,
And see,
thrown
that's
you a
also her
party
excuse
shower.
too
And
with COVID. It's like, "Oh, it's
Hmm.
COVID. I can't, we can't really have a wedding type of thing." Girl, please. You could have
Hmm.
Skyped, you could have FaceTime me, Facebook messaged me. Like, you could have told me something. That's not
Yeah.
an excuse.
Yep.
There was nothing I could do. Whoa.
COVID.
She acts like everything is like, well, there was only one option. It was either marry him or marry him. Like, what the fuck?
And at this point, you wasn't locked in with a car yet. You was no, you was. I think they got the car.
No,
You
she
wasn't
got the
locked in.
car, yeah.
Yeah, you wasn't locked in with a house yet. You wasn't locked in with a baby.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that happened. But at the same time, I think she probably is somewhat relieved by it now. As crazy as that sounds, but you're not locked in with this guy, so you could have been like, you know what, that's my cue, or just wait it out. But you, I don't get it. Who was on the board? Thank you for the super prayer. She thought she had that sugar, but he had diabetes.
Liabetes.
Thank you
That's
for the
like from
super prayer.
American Dad. He's like, you have liabetes. You need insulin.
It's a lie.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Oh man, I used to love American Dad.
I love that shit. Stan Smith is the
It's
worst.
funny because I hated American Dad when it first started.
Really?
I mean, the first season, couldn't stand it. Then I watched it like a couple seasons in, and I was like on it.
Yeah, the Roger Gold saga, the right shit Gold shit saga is fucking great.
Yeah,
It's
like
great.
I used to watch that show like at night. That one, like before I went to bed, because I don't like to watch like I can't go to bed with everything off. I have to have the TV on, so I either watch like Bob's Burgers or
Oh
like one of
yeah.
those shows.
Yo, son, Steve was like the hidden gem of American Dad.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
That dude could sing. Oh my God.
yeah. Steve Smith. He had an album out. The guy who voiced him.
Yeah, he did. Like back in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
90s or something like
yeah. He
that.
had a '90s R&B album.
It's
He
crazy.
can actually hit them notes. He can hit them
Oh, he's
notes.
good.
That boy can sing.
bachelorette party and all of that. It just sucks that you couldn't experience that. So
Donation.
we got married on a Tuesday. Um, on the way home, stopped and got some wings. Went home
Hell
and I
yeah.
had to get ready to
That's
go
the
to
only
work the
part of
next
the
day.
story I like. They got wings on
Right.
the way
Got
home.
married. Got some wings.
We got married on a Tuesday,
I
got
got
some
married
wings.
January 5th. By January 31st, I knew I was in trouble.
Oh shit.
It
Still didn't know how
took
deep,
her a whole month.
but I knew I was in trouble.
Oh damn.
So, to give you all a very, very, very candid idea, got married January 5th. The normal things that married newlyweds do when we got married completely stopped. And
Mm?
that was not by me. You always hear men talk about, man, now that we're married, she don't. In my case, it was the exact opposite.
Yo, I do not understand this paradigm.
It was the
Me
exact
either.
opposite. So, anyway, because this is not
Dudes be
a
tripping.
forum to be all R
Look,
rated.
Tyler Perry better keep his hands off of this fucking movie. We said it the last time. Say it again. Nah, we need something. No, we might need Oh shit! What is? Oh fuck!
Because
What's
Need
his
a
he'll shoehorn
name?
need
Medea.
a Shonda
He'll
Rhimes
shoehorn
or a Candy
Medea.
Burst.
Yeah. I say Candy Burrs because
Yeah,
she's an expert and all that shit. But yeah, he would shoehorn Medea into this story somehow. How you talking
yeah,
about my granddaughter? Or whatever the fuck stupid
right.
accent that he uses.
Or we're gonna need maybe Shonda Rhimes mix a little bit of Shonda Rhimes and then oh my god, what is his name?
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. Thank you. Thank
It's a horror story.
It is a horror story. It'll have a twist
this
at the end of
Uh,
it. At the twist, it'll
if
be
you
like, it was
thought
really
us
white
was
people.
bad,
It's like, what? What?
Ain't big or whatever, but y'all get what I'm saying. So, we got married January 5th. January 6th, I went to work. It was a lot of people congratulated me because it kind of word got out that I had gotten married. January 7th, um, I filed the paperwork to change my last name. And
Why?
if you were
Oh,
following me, you can go back like 15, 16 videos, and I talk about how I had to change my name back to my maiden name. But I changed my name within about 3 days of getting married.
damn.
My attitude was, this is the bed that I made. I'm gonna do right by him. I'm gonna do
Oh
right by the
Lord.
marriage. Um, I took marriage seriously, and when I married him, I absolutely married him thinking I'm going to be with you for the next 40, 50 years. So we're going to have to figure this shit out. That
How
was my
Sway?
mindset. I did not get married to turn around and be divorced in 6 months. But I got married January 5th, 2021, and by January 31st, I knew I was in serious trouble. So that is where we are. The next set of videos, the next set of all this will be me talking about how things went downhill before it crashed and I found everything out. In the meantime, tomorrow is my birthday.
Happy
So,
birthday, belated birthday.
happy
All right,
birthday.
so I think we're good. I think we'll end it there because we're already at the 2 hour mark. Whoa! All right, so
Craziness.
we
Gotta catch that
she's
train.
married at this point. She's married at this point, and it's about to go even worse than what it has been already. So we shall reconvene. I think we should be back by Monday doing this. I don't know if Miss Parker's free, but uh if she's not, then maybe we'll figure it out because I'm dedicated to finishing the series. I need to finish this.
When is the
so
next show? You
so
going back
yeah,
Monday?
I think Monday we should be able to do it on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. So so what I'll do is I'm gonna check with Miss Parker, see what we do, and then I'm gonna be reaching out to y'all too if y'all want to hop back on one of those days.
You know it.
Whatever.
I'll shoot you
I'll
my
do it.
email in the private chat so you can
You already got my DM, so you can just hit me
Yeah.
up.
All right. All right, cool. So y'all, I hope y'all had a really good time. Thank you to both Midwest and LA Anime for being here today and like
ooh, ooh.
going through this crazy saga with me. And yeah, we will see y'all again on I think Monday or Tuesday, one of them days. So y'all have a good one and later. Say bye,
Catch
y'all.
y'all on the
Later.
flip side.
Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking?
Damn.